we were rooting for you very, very hard. I'll put it that way. And then Hank basically put the green jacket on you in Photoshop, at least, and then some other stuff happened.
Yeah, I mean, he mushed me. Let's put it that way.
On today's Pardon My Take, we have a twofer for the people. We have our good friend, longtime friend, Brooks Koepka, back on the pod before the PGA Championship. We also have our colleague, Daniel Rappaport, on the pod to talk about the PGA Championship, give us some bets, tell us how the course is looking. We're going to talk Lakers Nugs, game one, phenomenal game. The Victor Wembanyama lottery has been decided. Doc Rivers was fired. Hot seat, cool throne. Guys on chicks. A little movie review. What a packed show for you. And it's all brought to you by a new sponsor alert. It's Viator. So Viator is the place to go book memorable travel experiences. Viator is a website and app where you can book travel experiences like pub crawls, boat tours, museums, and more. They offer everything from simple tours to extreme adventures with over 300,000 bookable experiences in 190 countries. There's something for everyone. Plus, Viator's travel experiences have millions of real traveler reviews, so you have the information you need to book the best activities for your trip. When you book a travel experience with Viator, there's always flexibility and support with free cancellation, payment options, and 24/7 service. We saw this new sponsor, and I was like, Hank, vacations, this is up your alley. And he said, you know what? I actually have already used it. So, Hank, what are you doing with your trip with Viator?
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand the vacation part of it, but I'll be in Chicago. Me and PFT will be in Chicago, and I booked us a little date night, dinner, cruise. I think it's a lunch cruise on Chicago River.
So not
me
dinner.
and PFT. Yeah, dinner, lunch, whatever you want to call it.
It depends. It could be a late lunch.
But it's called a lunch cruise.
A lunch cruise on the river, me and PFT. I'm excited for it.
Okay.
But not vacation.
really-
It's just, we're living in Chicago.
It's really
I love
just
it.
dinner. It's going to be a late lunch. The sun's going to be going down. It's going to be very romantic. I can't wait, Hank.
Yeah,
too.
it's going to be
A
fantastic.
little bottle of red wine, extra hops.
You guys are going what, in June? You're going
In
on your
June.
little date? Okay.
June.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So go check it out right now. Viator is the place to go to book memorable travel experiences. They will show it when they go on their little lunch cruise on Lake Michigan in June. Check them out right now. You book your trip. There is a ton of flexibility and support with free cancellation, payment options, and 24/7 service. That's what Viator does for you. Simple tours to extreme adventures, everything in between. Go check it out now. They will get you hooked up like Hank and PFT, who are going on a great lunch cruise on Lake Michigan. Okay, let's go. Welcome to Pardon My Take. Today is Wednesday, May 17th, and Nikola Jokic is a fucking monster. Monster. Nuggets take game one. What a game. PFT, Jokic, baby.
Jokic is a beast. And on Taco Tuesday, no less. Snatched it right out of LeBron James. It was the altitude won that game in the first quarter. At the end of the first quarter, when the Nugs were up 12 points before the Lakers got their second win, all they had to do was just kind of keep them at bay for a while. And credit to the Lakers because they played a pretty good game. Both teams
Very good.
offensively played really well. The Nugs had like 7 baskets. I think there were 6 or 7 shots that went in, which were like no, yes shots that had no business going in. They got a lot of lucky shots from the outside, but they also, at the same time, they got lucky a lot, but they also played really, really well. And so there was no way that the Nuggets could afford to lose that game after playing that well and getting so many good breaks. That was a must-win game after the first quarter.
It was a must-win game because Jokic, I think with maybe 9 minutes into the first quarter, he already had his double-double. He ended up with a triple-double, 34 points, 21 rebounds, and 14 assists. And so there's 2 ways to look at it. One, Nuggets up 1-0, played great. Everyone was making shots. KCP got caught fire for a while there. Jamal Murray was hot for a while there. Like everything was clicking for the Nuggets. Then the other side to look at is Anthony Davis just had the quietest 40-point night I think I've ever seen. Like I was, when I looked at the box score when it was like midway through the fourth and he hit that three and I was like, wait, he's about to have 40? Because it didn't feel like that because Jokic was that dominant to start the game and the Nuggets had so much momentum. And the fact that the Lakers had a chance to potentially tie it with like 20 seconds left has to get you a little nervous if you're a Nuggets fan because the Lakers were down 20 for stretches of this game. And they came all the way back. They almost stole it. Makes me a little nervous because it feels like it's going to be a great series and like Jokic is going to have to do this every night. And he's going to have his supporting cast do this every night. And yes, I would say when you're looking at this game, the Nuggets completely dominated the boards. I think they had 17 more rebounds, but the Lakers are going to be there. Like Austin Reeves is a stone cold killer. Can we say that now? He had like 11 points in the fourth quarter. He was hitting everything.
Yeah, he does look like he could be an extra on Ozark too.
Yeah,
the dude is awesome.
He has a boat.
He's legit.
He's got a boat, and he gets the kids in trouble, and then they find out like, oh shit, now they're in real trouble because they have heroin in that boat. Yeah,
yeah. A kid he's from Arkansas, right? So a kid from Arkansas would feel right at home in an arena named after a mason jar. So yes. Austin Reeves is legitimate. Like he is a legitimate threat. I think we can stop. He's the new Delhi. He might be better.
I think
than
he's better.
Old Delhi offensively. I haven't seen him die trying to defend Steph Curry yet, but yeah, he's extremely talented. Like somebody's gonna pay Austin Reeves a lot of money at some point, and it's going to be awesome.
He's Hillbilly Kobe. That's his nickname.
Yeah,
which is a great nickname.
It is a great nickname. Watching this game, I kept thinking. So I was watching it with my mom, and I was telling her because she likes college basketball more than NBA. I was like, Mom, watching this game, this is a completely different sport that they're playing than college basketball. It was so fun to watch. I think a lot of people out there were saying that it's one of the best NBA games of all time, right? I think our senior business correspondent had something to say about that.
Yeah, Darren Ravel, not a prisoner of the moment, tweeted directly after the game. It was maybe like 5 minutes after the game. People will dismiss it because it's not an NBA Finals game, so the stakes weren't as high. But what you just watched was one of the greatest games ever played.
Yeah.
One of the greatest games ever played.
He didn't specify sport either. He just meant like games of all games ever played. Mm-hmm. That's the best. It was a very good game, and I'm looking forward to seeing, I think, 5 more of these very good games. I still think Nuggets in 6. If Jokic can dominate like he dominated tonight, and I actually don't see a reason why he wouldn't be able to. As insane as his game was tonight, that's kind of what Jokic has been doing these playoffs. Granted, he hasn't had 34 points yet in a triple-double, but he's been taking over games and just dominating, whether it's his passing, his rebounding, or his shooting, or tonight his outside shooting. He had that one at the end of the third quarter where Anthony Davis just starts smiling afterwards, and you know that you have him beat at that point.
Yeah. And listen, I do think the Lakers, like, I don't know whose line is it anyway, what their line will be on Thursday night. I think the Lakers might win game 2 because it did feel also like in the fourth quarter, it felt like they figured a little something out. Like Anthony Davis was playing off. Gordon was disrupting everything. Like you could tell the Nuggets got a little tight going into the paint. He was blocking every shot. He was like, if not blocking a shot, making everyone think twice and make that extra pass. So I just think it's gonna be a long series. I think it's gonna be a great series, a long series. I'm scared about the Lakers. This felt like what is Max showing us? What is Max showing us?
Use your words, Max.
It was the spread.
Oh, what's the spread? Why don't you just say it? 5.5. Yeah.
Well, I didn't want to interrupt what you were saying, but I thought you could see it.
Lakers might be a game of the month. It does feel like the Lakers have done this in Memphis round and the Warriors round, where it's like they lose one, then they have that that extra effort to win one, or when they come off a big win, they'll kind of like walk around and be like, we don't need this one. Like they need this one, game 2. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. It's gonna be a great series. This was an awesome game one. I'm so excited for this series.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. I don't think LeBron played great tonight. He had that weird shot at the end. Wasn't great from the outside, and he did give up. We should mention that on when they had a chance. Were they trying to tie the game? I think they were down 3, or no, they were down 5. I think, and they missed. They had a turnover. It was when LeBron got the ball in the paint and went between his legs, lost the ball.
Jamal Murray
Nuggets
hit it out.
got the
Actually,
ball.
great defensive play.
And then LeBron just kind of stood there and they let like 7 seconds tick off the clock. But we should, by law, as a sports podcast, say that LeBron James needs to hustle more at the end of the fourth quarter.
Yes. Jokic at the 8-minute mark of the first quarter had 8 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists. That's a full game for some guys.
It's
more
crazy.
than a full game.
He was just purely dominant tonight.
Yeah.
And I mean, the rest of everybody played well tonight. I feel like nobody had a bad game tonight.
Yeah. No, well, actually, the only one who I would say is D'Angelo Russell, who had moments where it's like he has a little bit in him where he's like, watch out, it's D'Lo time. And I'm going to do this. And he was missing shots. And it's like, dude, you have like the way this Lakers team is built and why they are so good and why I'm so scared of them is they have a ton of guys who can step up. And you had Rui Hachimura step up. You had Austin Reeves step up. You just had D'Lo kind of be like, try to be the hero for a little bit there and wasn't shooting well. And that put him in a hole.
And didn't D'Angelo Russell say earlier this year, like after he left the T-Wolves, right? He said, like, finally, I've got the green light. I get to play without the restrictor plate on me. Yeah. And so this is what you get sometimes with D'Angelo Russell when he doesn't have the restrictor plate on him.
Yes, exactly. For load management purposes, I'm sure there'll be a lot of people talking about Anthony Davis playing 42 minutes in high altitude. Will he even be able to play game 2?
I would sit him.
I'd probably sit him too.
I would sit him and LeBron, regroup, bring it back to LA, get it down to sea level, and then see if you can rattle off 2 games at home. You know,
yes.
The series doesn't start until a road team wins a game.
Yes. By the way, I'm wearing the sports hat. It's in the Barstool Sports store right now. If you do not have a team in the playoffs anymore, it's the best hat to wear because you're just like I was just sitting there. I had my bets, but I was just rooting for sports, and I love sports. And it was like one of those games like, shit, this was awesome. And now we're at this point of the playoffs where it's kind of nice being able to sit back and watch one singular game and like really get yourself into it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Just like sit there and just soak in that game. Experience
the commercial breaks, take a breath. Yeah, it's not bad. I do like the conference final week. That's it's a much needed break.
Yes. Okay. Before we talk Wembanyama, and we have to talk Wembanyama and the Spurs, and we also have to talk a little Doc Rivers, Barstool Sportsbook. We were talking about this game that we were betting on. We did it on the Barstool Sportsbook. The Barstool Sportsbook is now offering a $1,000 bonus for new players. If your first bet loses, get up to $1,000 in bonus cash. Download and create an account today. Use code TAKE to unlock your $1,000 bonus. Be sure to use code TAKE to unlock your $1,000 bonus. Terms apply. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. I hit a parlay tonight for the people, plus 400. Hank, are you going to have something for the people tomorrow night with Celtics?
I'm going to have something for the Celtics. I also have a great PGA Championship live parlay. Brooks, Cam Smith, Dustin Johnson, Phil Mickelson to go top 5. 3 out of 5 have to go top 5.
And what does that pay?
Patrick Reed.
What does that
plus
pay?
110. Plus 110.
Okay. All right, so we just need some live guys.
I thought it was top 20.
Top 20. It's top 20.
That makes it a lot more sense. I was going to say plus top 5, 3 out of top 5. That's not the best. But I was going to bet it
going to win anyway.
Very cool.
That's a big difference, Hank. That's a big. You needed the majority of the top 5 for a second.
If you liked it at top 10, you're gonna love it at top 20.
No, I loved it when it was 3 of those guys had to finish in the top 5.
Yeah, you said
That's
top 5
when I liked it the
best. I was like, that seems like crazy odds, but okay. So 3 in the top 20. Barstool Sportsbook exclusives. Go check it out now. Download the Barstool Sportsbook and use code TAKE to unlock your $1,000 bonus for new players. If your first bet loses, you get up to $1,000 in bonus cash. Terms apply. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Okay, lottery. Victor Wembanyama. Victor, I add an extra N at the end. Victor Wembanyama.
Wembenyama.
Victor Wembanyama is going to be a San Antonio Spur, which can you be mad? My big question coming out of this, can you be mad at the Spurs? This is their third number one pick ever. They went David Robinson, Tim Duncan. Now they're getting Victor Wembanyama. They have 5 titles in the last, whatever it is, 25 years. But I still can't be mad at the Spurs because, like, I've been to San Antonio, nice town, but, like, good for San Antonio, good for the Spurs fans. I'm not mad. And Popovich, like, if you want a young player to not have his career go sideways with bad coaching and a dysfunctional franchise, there's no better place than San Antonio for him to land.
Yeah, you can be mad. You can be mad at anybody if it makes you feel better. But I think in
I
this
can't
case,
muster it. That's what I'm saying.
If you compete, if you're in the West and you have to compete against the Spurs, you're at this point, you're just like, come on, really? Like, again? And I get that. I understand that sentiment. But as a fan of sports, Big Cat, as a fan of the league in general,
Sports.
I think we can agree that him going to San Antonio is like the perfect culture fit. We called it with Kirk Goldsberry that Pop would be the best place for him to land with the Spurs history, not just with big men, but also at the international level. And guys like Ginobili, Parker, Boris Diaw, who, by the way, Boris Diaw is the owner of the French team that Wembanyama plays for. So a little NBA rigged. Now, I read one tweet that said that, so I might be wrong on it, but it looked like a solid tweet. So I'm just going to repeat it verbatim. I think Diaw owns the team that Wembanyama was on, and then now he's over on the Spurs. So if you're putting on your NBA rigged hat, which I'm going to allow everybody to do because it's fun to say, there could be something to that. But I think, like, from just a development standpoint, it's good. It's good for San Antonio. And San Antonio is low key a big market. People don't really they always refer to it as being a small market team. Fuckload of people live in San Antonio. Yeah, and big people too.
Yeah,
they eat a lot.
Big people. Yeah. What was Charles Barkley? The churros.
Big women.
Yeah, big women in the churros. So I can't be mad at the Spurs. I just couldn't muster it up. I don't really know what team I would have been mad at, but the Spurs are not it. What I did do, though, instantly, because I stupidly was like all day thinking, NBA rigged, they're going to figure out a way. The Bulls are going to have a miracle. So when it didn't happen, and it was over very quickly, I did just go straight into, like, he's probably not even that good. They showed before he had a game today, and he went. I think he had 22 and 8 in the French league. Come on, like Jokic just had 34 and 21 and 14. So I might be on Victor Wembanyama is too big, too skinny, and also Rudy Gobert would be his Frenchman. And so maybe what's the best dog he can have in him? A French poodle? I don't know. These questions
French
that I'm
bulldog?
asking. Yeah.
If anything, the spin zone you go with is he's already peaked.
Yeah.
And he's done progressing at this point. So yeah, you've already seen what he's going to give you. Whereas other players like Jokic weren't very good when they were drafted. There was a lot of room to grow. With Wembanyama, he's already seen everything that you're going to get from him. But in reality, he's like 7'5". Did you see the picture of him that they showed? It was they had a video feed of his lottery draft party, and you know that you're a fucking baller if they've got cameras on you. If they fly Brian Windhorse overseas to hang out with you at the draft lottery party, you've got it made at that point. But the
70-second interview,
and the mic didn't even work. Poor Windy. He's the hardest working guy in fucking business, and he is so strong, and the mic didn't even work.
Does he parlay le français?
I don't know if he parlays la français, but listen. If Windy's got your back right away, that means that's a good thing. Like Windy going out there actually reverses everything. And I'll be fully transparent. My thoughts that he is not going to be pan out and that, he's too skinny, he's too French, all these things. This is just like the bitter, I was spending all day fantasizing about having him on the Bulls. And then when he's not, it's like immediately try to shield yourself from any type of hurt. It's what guys do, like, oh, you can't hurt me, I'll hurt you. So that's all those thoughts. I actually probably will end up rooting for him, liking him, hoping he does really well. But right now, I'm going to just hurt him and not let him hurt me first.
I wanted him on the Wizards. Absolutely. Yeah. Like that's a guy that you can actually point to and say, okay, well, we're going to be good for the next 10 years if we manage this right. But I do like the spin zone of being, just saying right off the bat, he might be too French.
Yeah, he's too French.
If he got matched up against Dirk would just dominate him in the first quarter of the game. And it would be over.
Go right over him.
Right over him, and then he just lay down and then expect his American teammates to pick him up and carry him to a championship.
Yeah.
But
one Canadian. Maybe Andrew Wiggins helps out.
Yeah, and then they'd have to do it again 20 years later at the end of his career when they drafted a good, strong, strapping American young boy. But he's the video feed that they had of him when he was standing up in that room was laugh out loud funny because he's just walking around the room and his head is bumping against the ceiling.
He's so big.
That also might be a French thing. They might just have low ceilings because they're smaller people in France.
Well, I've heard reports that he's like lying about, he's doing the Kevin Durant. He's lying about his height in the reverse way where he's like, no, he's only 7'4", but people are like, he might be 7'5", 7'6". Like he's going to keep growing a little bit more. I just know there's 13 other teams that were in the lottery tonight, and I'm speaking to those fans specifically. It's okay to just get off a couple takes being like, that's a bust. And we know that all 13 franchises that didn't get him, we know deep down we would have done anything to get him, but use this time to shield yourself and be like, didn't even fucking want him. I want a guy who played in college basketball. Okay.
Yeah.
I want a high character guy like Brandon Miller. Come on. I don't want Victor Wembanyama. So, and I'm specifically speaking to Pistons fans who got fucked. So Pistons fans, you had the equal chance for the number 1 pick and you ended up with the 5th pick. And it was like to have that happen in this draft where you don't even make the final 4, brutal, absolutely brutal.
So this fun little nugget came out after the draft from Ben Golliver. I thought this was unnecessary for him to put out there. It was kind of mean. He said the San Antonio Spurs won the NBA draft lottery and the right to select Victor Wembanyama with a ping pong ball combo 14-5-8-2. After the first 3 numbers were picked, the Washington Wizards had 6 of the possible 11 remaining numbers and barely missed. I don't need to know that. We keep that to yourself. That's some behind the scenes Price Waterhouse Cooper analytical shit.
Ernst and Young.
That the accounting, one of the big 3 or whatever accounting firms, you keep that information in house, and that felt like it was personal and unnecessary. Ben Golliver, keep that shit to yourself.
How do they pick that one random guy from Ernst and Young? Because like he then just litters his corner office with just pictures of him at the draft lottery. Like, do they do a draft lottery at Ernst and Young to decide who gets to go? Because that is the peak of being an accountant, right?
That's why you get into numbers. That's why you study math in high school.
Do it to someday get to walk out and not even meet the commissioner, but just walk out with the cards and place it on the table, and you have your little name on ESPN, and that's the peak. That's it for you.
Yeah, you're like, I'm the sports accountant. I'm a numbers guy, but I'm the cool numbers guy.
It really, I didn't use any accounting in this. They just basically needed someone people trust so that they can say like, oh, well, he handled it, not us.
Yeah. I'm a little bit salty with that stat coming out, but whatever.
We
move on. Spin zone, at least I don't have to care about the Wizards for another 10 years. So that's good. That's a blessing.
Yeah, that is PFT. That's like when I do the 50-50 and I get to like the 4th number and I'm like, fuck. Then when you cause I never get to like the 4th or 5th number. And then the rare time you do, and you're like, well, why did you even do that? That was such a tease.
Yeah, in the NBA, they have it set up a little bit differently from hockey, where it's more likely that a team that doesn't finish with the worst record or the second worst record has a much better shot at it when you take everything into account. But, I mean, congrats to San Antonio. Good job. It's been, being a San Antonio Spurs fan, it's not easy, as Hank would say, for Boston sports fandom.
They also, last thing about the lottery, I don't understand why the NBA, they're adding a mid-season tournament and all these playing games. if you made a lottery tournament, people would watch. Like, that would be fascinating to watch, where it's the 14 teams, or maybe you say it's the last 6 teams or whatever. But if they had to play and the winner of that gets the number 1 pick, it would be great. Like, if you want more ratings, you want more fans, fuck, I'd be rooting my ass off if the Bulls were in the finals of the losers bracket. Like, that would be so much fun.
Unless you had a team that had like a pretty decent center on it, and then he would tank the championship game so that they wouldn't draft Wembanyama.
Yeah, true. All right, last thing before we kick it to ourselves for Hot Seat, Cool Throne, and Brooks Koepka, Daniel Rappaport, and Guys on Chicks. Doc Rivers fired. So Doc Rivers fired. He had to be fired. I mean, Monty Williams also got fired. It's one of those things in sports, like you can't trade Embiid. You can't trade Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. So you need a fall guy. He probably should have been fired, but it also is like one of those rare cases where Doc Rivers loves to blow it in big moments. But that loss to me was squarely on James Harden and Joel Embiid.
Yeah, I don't know if getting rid of Doc is going to solve everything, but it's a start. They had to do it. I saw a stat that said was it the 3 winningest regular season coaches in the last 3 years have all been fired?
Yeah. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, because I mean, think about it. I think Nick Nurse won Coach of the Year a few years ago. I know Monty Williams might have won it 2 years in a row, and they both got fired. And I don't know if Bud won Coach of the Year. What, Jake?
Doc Rivers, Nick Nurse, Monty Williams, and Mike Budenholzer have 6 NBA Coach of the Year awards between them, all dismissed this offseason. Eric Spoelstra's not won one from 5 Reasons Sports Network.
Damn. So Bud did win one. So, yeah, that's crazy. And they all are gone. Max, do you want to I just want Max to talk real quick, like 30 seconds, just so you guys can see his camera view of his soul patch. Go ahead, Max. Doc out. Thoughts?
Doc out. Fine. Doesn't really change.
You look like a frog.
Yeah, I know. I'm having some issues with my computer right now. I had to switch to my phone. Yeah, I guess it's a good day for Philly. Who really cares? I mean, a lot of people in Philly are really happy about it, but I don't really think it makes any of a difference.
I think it makes a small difference, right? You'd rather, if you're going to try to rebuild this thing, you don't want Doc to be the guy.
It's more of like you would be angry if they brought him back, but him leaving doesn't make you happy, if that makes sense.
Just the absence of anger.
Yes. Well, yeah, that's basically my entire existence.
It's simply like you have to go through the process of someone has to be accountable, and it can't be Joel Embiid just because of how contracts work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's the exact same as Monty Williams. I don't think Monty Williams is a bad coach, but you're like, we have to change something up. Well, you're not going to change Devin Booker and Kevin Durant, so Monty Williams, there's the door.
At some point over the years, should Doc Rivers have gotten a vocal coach? Like we see this happening with Morgan Wallen and a lot of singers. Doc Rivers has been perpetually hoarse for, it feels like, the last 15 years. I don't know how effective as a coach you can be if you never actually have a speaking voice.
Yeah. Yeah. Best coaches who never have their voice. I mean, Coach O won a national title.
That's true. But he's still got that. He can yell at you. That voice resonates. Michael what's his name? Michael Malone. Michael Malone never has a voice either.
Yeah. Hank, do you want to tell us quickly what you're thinking before game one? You feel super confident. Super confident.
No, I feel confident. I mean, they came out with a stat that was like ESPN bullshit, full of shit, fuck ESPN. But it was like 97% Celtics had a chance. Like that was the percentage that they were going to win the series, which I thought was a little bit egregious. But I feel good.
Wow.
I'm excited.
97% chance. So this would be the biggest upset ever.
According to them. I mean, I feel like it's a little bit closer than that, probably like 60-40, but
I think if you looked at the Bruins' first round odds, it'd probably be a little bit higher than 97%.
yeah, I mean, listen, I know what it's like to be number one and lose, and I'm looking at Cake Marsh, and I know what's on the other side there. So I know how formidable of a foe that is.
I also would like to just, since we have Brooks on this show, and we're getting close to Blake of the Year, I'd like to say I'm rooting for my good personal friend Blake Griffin. I got a little bit of a lashing on text last night. He threw 99 in my head and was like, "Where are you going now with your buddy B-ball Paul?" So I'm shifting. It's Blake Griffin time. Noted.
Let's go.
Blake Griffin has been a loyal guy for this show and one of like our all-time guests. So sometimes you just need to be corrected in life, and I got corrected. Hank was witness to it. Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
I wanted to ask him how his back was, but I didn't want to press it.
Yeah. I have one last thing that just came across Twitter. Breaking news.
I wonder if my
Breaking
neighbors
news.
can hear that. That'd be
Magic
funny.
Johnson has weighed in on game 1. He has said the Lakers need to regroup and clean up some things for game 2.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
I mean, PFC,
That's-
the fact that that's your owner now.
That's my owner. Yeah, he's right.
It is.
I mean, spot the lie. They need to regroup, and then they need to find some things. Maybe the
clean up some
basket.
things. Yeah.
Clean up some
You-
things. There you go. Okay.
Clean
Yeah,
up
I
some
mean,
things.
spot the lie. That's a guy that knows ball.
When he's
Yeah.
coming that early, when he's coming this recently off of game 2, you know he's fired up. Usually
yeah.
it's like a full 12 hours to 24
Yeah.
after the game ends.
I also
I can't wait. I can't wait for Magic Johnson tweets after Commanders games because
Oh, yeah.
he is just a perpetually positive guy, and finding positive things to say about the Redskins football team Commanders has been very tough to do for the last 30 years. I can't wait for those. Those are going to be must watch.
That was going to be heartbreaking if the Nuggets lost that game.
Yeah, no, it was a must win after the first quarter.
Yeah.
We take care of business in our must win games.
We always, yes. When PFC and I spot a must-win game, we go out and win it. Unlike other people on this show, we know what a must-win game looks like.
You know what? I'm declaring game 2 a must compete game for the Nuggets.
No,
I'm going to
come
say,
on.
Lakers must win game 2. They should win. It's a they should win game. If they were smart, they would win this game.
I think the Nuggets will win, but I'm not positive. I don't know that they're going to win game 2, but they have to compete. So it's a must compete.
All right, let's kick it to ourselves. We got a lot of great show coming up, and Brooks is back. Rejoice, Brooks is back. Hot Seat Cool Throne is brought to you by our friends at Coors Light. Sometimes the days can get so crazy that you forget to make time for fun. When that happens, you got to choose to chill. So go ahead, say yes to midweek happy hours and catching the game after work. And while you're at it, enjoy an ice cold Coors Light, the beer that's made to chill. There's only one beer out there that's literally made to chill, and that's Coors Light. The mountains on the bottles and cans even turn blue when your beer is cold. That way you always know when it's time to chill. When you're making time to chill, crack open a Coors Light. It's mountain cold refreshment made to chill. If you're watching the Nuggets against the Lakers, have an ice cold Coors Light.
Mountains are really blue in Colorado.
Yeah, it's perfect time to crack open an ice cold Coors Light. So when you choose to chill, pair your plans with an ice cold Coors Light. Get Coors delivered straight to your door with Drizzly or Instacart by going to CoorsLight.com/take. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. CoorsLight.com/take. Okay, Hot Seat Cool Throne. Hank.
Hot seat, I have a couple.
Yeah?
First one is the NHL.
Yep.
The conference finals, absolute dud matchups. Absolute dud. It's
Disagree.
it's Dallas versus Vegas, Carolina versus Florida. Jake, I mean, you're not even going to be watching. You say you disagree.
I'm going to be
but
watching.
No, you're not. You're not watching every game.
Shout out all of our Carolina H-word
Yeah.
fans.
I will
Okay.
if I'm able to.
Exactly.
That Eastern Conference Final is a nightmare for Hank, who has an extreme distaste for any sports team that is based around an entire region as opposed to a city. I remember you got really upset about Carolina Panthers at one point, completely forgetting that you root for the New England Patriots.
Yeah, I think that was satirical, but I
Oh,
guess that
oh,
type
no,
of stuff
no, it
goes
wasn't.
over your head.
No, it wasn't.
All right,
no,
here,
it wasn't.
Here, listen, this podcast gets listened to by a lot of people across America. We try to talk about all sports. I think that's one of the things we do well is we talk about every single sport. We're not just one sport centric. So knowing that we have fans all across America, let's say one thing about each team. I'll start. We'll go around. Let's start with the Carolina Hurricanes. I'll say their full name. That pig that they have, the rally pig or something.
Yeah.
fucking cool.
Okay. The rookie that got his face caved in by Ovechkin in the playoffs took it like a champ a couple years ago.
Okay, nice.
I think they should change their name. It's offensive to people who were affected by
Maybe.
hurricanes.
Or malt liquor.
Hamilton the Pig, by the way. I just looked it up.
There we go.
Hamilton the Pig.
It's a good name for a pig.
Great name.
They have a cool logo.
The
Okay.
hurricane logo?
Yeah.
Well, now you're just complimenting Miami.
You're complimenting weathermen, too.
Yeah.
That's Carolina.
Yeah, but no, but it's the same logo as the Hurricane.
No, it's different.
No.
Miami Hurricanes?
No,
They
the
have
logo, though.
No, I know. The Miami,
logo.
they have an alternate logo, don't they? Is it on a flag? What is the Miami
Maybe
Hurricane?
Sebastian the Ibis you're thinking of?
Yeah.
The U has
The
the
U is
two-
the iconic
No, I
logo.
know that.
Yeah.
I know that. I thought they had an alternate logo as well, but maybe not. Okay.
Yeah.
This is really good stuff we're doing.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Billy, Carolina Hurricanes.
Don't know much about them, but I like the Golden Knights.
Okay.
Okay, well, that's not the team that we're talking
All right,
about.
good job. All right, next team, Florida Panthers. People forget Ariana Grande, huge Florida Panthers fan, actually got hit by 2 pucks, I believe. I don't know, maybe it was 1.
Yeah.
When she was a little girl, she had season tickets.
All right.
Kodak Black.
Kodak.
Can
Billy,
we go?
come on,
What the
Billy.
fuck? You've ruined the easiest thing in the world here.
Kodak Black was at a Florida Panthers
Yeah.
game with a stripper and was basically banging her doggy style during the game in an open air suite.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Mike Ruiz from Lebetard,
Okay.
good friend of ours. Big,
Brooks
big
Brooks
Panthers
hates
fan.
them, and so do I.
Okay.
That clip of him holding up the
Traffic
cone.
Yeah. All right, Jake.
Hometown team. It's right next to the Sawgrass Mills Mall where Wanadu City used to be. Great spot.
Okay. Billy. Come on,
I
Billy.
already said mine.
No, you didn't.
It's out of turn.
There's no such thing as a Florida Panther.
True.
Yeah, so I just took yours.
Okay. Dallas Stars. Joe Pavelski, Badger. Awesome player. Also, I kind of rooted for the Dallas Stars for like a second when Patrick Sharp got traded there. I was like, oh, I'll hope they do well. And then I just forgot to do that.
The Texas Stars, minor league affiliate of the Dallas Stars, they play in Cedar Park, Texas. Used to go to a bunch of their games. Great arena. Always a good fight there. I think they won the Calder Cup one year. So I like their minor league program.
Okay. Good one.
Tyler Sagan, Bruins champion. I think this is my official pick and team I'll be rooting for.
Okay.
Their goalie's named Jake.
Oh,
Very cool.
Very
Yeah.
cool. Very cool. Billy, this is the hardest task in the world for him.
Dallas is a cool city.
All right. Nice.
Is it?
Sure.
You ever been there?
Actually, I was in Arlington.
Yeah.
okay.
That's
So
classic
try-
Dallas guy
Yeah,
out
yeah,
there.
yeah.
Yeah. You're not as disappointing as the Cowboys. This is further than the Cowboys have gone in 28
A lot of years.
years.
20 lot of years.
Yeah.
28 years. Okay. Vegas. The helmets are very cool. When they wear the gold helmets.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Makes me think of Notre Dame, makes me think of football, makes me happy.
When they do the all gold everything and Trinidad James song comes on, that's pretty cool. Good pregame ceremony too,
Yes,
where they
yes.
do the medieval times on acid thing
Yes.
on the ice. Love that.
The Caps won a cup there.
Okay.
Yeah,
nice.
I
Good
forgot
one.
about
Good-
that.
good
Yeah,
one. Good
a lot
one.
of good memories in that
Good
barn.
one. Good one.
They're having insane success as still a new franchise.
Yeah.
They're in the mix every year.
I don't
Once
think
a new franchise comes, you can't. They're
Yeah,
not,
they did.
They're
They're
no
not the
longer
new
a
guy anymore.
franchise.
they got cucked by the Kraken.
We're crackheads.
That's right. All right. They're having great success in their first few years.
Okay.
There's a dude on their 4th line with the same last name as me.
Football?
What?
Yeah.
That's a weird name for a hockey player.
That's sick.
Yeah.
All right. So we said something nice about every team. Good for us.
Okay, that's hockey talk.
Because, people are like, hey, why don't you talk about
See
this
you next
team?
year.
Yeah, no, listen, clip this. Anytime anyone asks us, why don't you talk about this team? Boom, we just did it.
We're
We'll
hockey.
do the same for Stanley Cup Final.
We're fantasy puck boys.
Yeah, hell yeah. But yeah, this is not exactly the dream for the NHL.
No.
Still will be fun to watch because hockey playoffs are fun to watch, but a little tough.
You can rig one thing per year. You either rig the playoffs or you rig the draft. They rigged the draft this year. Good job, NHL. Now let's maybe think about rigging the playoffs next year.
Yes.
My other hot seat was Aaron Judge. Got caught cheating, stealing signs again. Yankees back at it again.
Yep. He was
Stirring the
stealing,
pot.
he was
Stirring the pot.
Jake, did you see his eyes?
Did you
he
see
was
his
looking-
quote?
what
yeah,
is-
I saw
should we
his
believe
quote.
him?
A lot of chirping from our dugout, which I really didn't like in the situation where it's a 6-0 game. I was kind of just trying to see who was chirping in the dugout.
Oh,
Sure.
just chirping. Just
Yeah.
the dugout was chirping.
Yeah, that's why he
Exactly.
That's why he glanced just with his eyes and not turning his head. right,
And-
Jake?
And wouldn't chirping, like wouldn't saying, what pitch is coming, wouldn't that technically
Well,
qualify as chirping?
the other assumption from friend of the program ish, not really, Buster Olney, friend of the office, friend of the
no,
not a
friend
friend
of
of
Frank.
Friend of Frank.
No. What friend of Frank?
He hates
No.
the Mets.
He's doing
Yeah.
the chop.
There is an
enemy of all of us.
Yes, enemy of all of us. There is an assumption on the Jays side that their pitchers and catchers were betraying the identity of the forthcoming pitches last night. It's a really advanced way to say maybe tipping pitches.
Oh, that's another way to say that the dugout was sending signs to Aaron Judge about what pitches were being tipped.
And then wait, but he struck out, so it doesn't matter, right?
Nope.
No,
Two
he
home
hit-
runs.
but they weren't very.
no!
It
That
wasn't
was
a
being
far home
conveyed
run.
to Aaron
was it?
Judge, and this is why he was glancing to his right for info.
The home run didn't go that far, did it?
Oh, he crushed it.
Oh, and 480
Yeah.
feet.
Listen, if it
Okay.
comes out he was cheating, I will admit we don't deserve that in baseball. Pinstripes permanently gone.
Permanently.
But
Jake, I actually
no.
disagree with you 100% on that. If in baseball, if you're not cheating, you're not trying. Like if you're
Yeah.
if you're able to get away with, I actually think if you're communicating to Aaron Judge from the dugout what pitch is coming, if it's being tipped, or as Buster put it, if they're betraying
betraying the identity of the forthcoming pitches.
I love that phrase, betraying the identity of the forthcoming pitch, and your team is communicating that to you without the use of electronics, then it's fine. You should be
Right.
allowed to do it.
I actually think also, like MLB, they should just plan some type of cheating scandal right around now every year. Because it does get, like, cheating in baseball is, I think, the only sport where it's actually beneficial because it gets people talking about baseball.
Yeah, usually there's a fight. I think that Roughneck Odor, Joey Bats fight was on roughly this day, like 7 years ago. I love a good springtime brawl.
Yeah, just get us talking about something else.
It's either that or a bee delay about
Yeah.
this time of year.
Well, the other notable clip was the Sunday Night Baseball asking the Red Sox
Oh, yeah.
guy if, on Mother's Day.
He was like, it's Mother's Day and your mom died when you were a kid. Talk about that.
Yeah,
That was tough.
quite during a play.
yeah,
During a play.
Yeah, it was the mic'd up on the field
Yeah.
thing.
He
right?
handled it really well, though.
Yeah.
With the announcer?
No, the player.
Oh,
Yeah.
What do you think, Jake? Carl Ravitch, should he have asked that question or not, as a play-by-play guy?
I think that's like we watch the draft all the time, and you have those features, right? Those are pre-produced, but when you're in the middle of a game, that's just the last thing you're probably thinking about.
Yeah. Well, it was Mother's Day, so I mean, he had to be topical, I guess.
Yeah.
And he
So-
was mic'd up with that guy.
So, Judge, cheater or not a cheater?
Cheater.
Wait, if his dugout was telling him what pitch was coming, that's
Yeah.
technically cheating.
It's bending the rules.
Yeah.
So if like a
You
player,
can't. I mean, you're not supposed to look and see what like the catcher is doing and then relay it to the batter. That's the Astros.
no, but that's electronic.
But they were doing the same thing. They were looking, seeing what was being called by the catcher, and then relaying it to the batter.
But they were like using technology.
Right.
Yeah.
That's like having another headset in your helmet in football that communicates to you during the game.
I think you should
He
be
was
allowed,
cheating.
as long
That's
as
not
you,
cheating.
as
Sounds
long
like
as
he was
there's no
cheating.
like vibrating watch or a camera that's in center field relaying signals. If you don't bring a battery or electricity into it, I think you should be allowed to do in baseball.
I don't
If
think you
they
should
were-
be able to do it from the dugout, though. I think anyone, like if you have a guy on second and you can figure out a way to do it,
Yeah.
that's fine.
How about this? I don't think you should be allowed to
Yeah,
do
or
it.
the first base coach, third base coach, that's fine.
But in the dugout, it's like, yeah,
no, it's true.
Yeah, you should be allowed to do it as long as you're not on the Yankees.
yeah.
How about that? Mm-hmm. Fair?
Fair.
Big Cat, do you have Rick Riley's number?
I might. Why?
Can you text him something?
Yeah.
Can you just text him, a judge receiving improper benefits? I didn't know Harlan Crow was in the news again. And just see if he'll run with that tomorrow.
Okay.
I want to go straight to Rick.
And then my
I
cool
don't know if-
throne
I don't have his number. Fuck.
is friend of the program, recurring guest, Dwight Howard.
Oh. What's he up to?
He is in Taiwan playing. I don't know if you guys have seen any of the clips of him playing the last year. He drops like 40 a game, shoots as many threes as he wants, absolutely dominates. There's some very funny commercial shoots where he's, living the life basically. And he made a video trolling all of the underperformers in the playoffs. Jordan Poole, Julius Randle, Ben Simmons, Klay Thompson, Ayton, CP3, and James Harden. Called them all out and is recruiting them to Taiwan.
Ooh.
So
Would love that.
Dwight Howard's living the life. He's back to trolling. It was a very funny video. And honestly, like he looks like he's having a great time.
I would imagine.
He shoots 100 threes. He drops 40 a game. Probably lives like a king out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he just gets to, go viral, calling everyone out that underperforms in the playoffs.
I also like how we referred to Taiwan as a country. John Cena definitely not coming back on the show now.
Come on, Hank. That's
my
China,
bad.
brother.
Way to go, Hank.
Depending on where you sit.
No.
What? It's not China.
No, it's Taiwan. It's a
Taiwan.
country. That's one of the things we stand for on this podcast.
Yeah.
Did I say country?
No,
No, you're right.
You're good. You're
Oh,
on the
you
right
said
side
it right.
of history. You said Taiwan.
I just said he's playing in Taiwan. I
Yeah.
didn't say it was
Fact.
a country.
Fact.
Yeah.
He's playing in Taiwan.
Wait, so then why'd you bring up what he said was wrong?
Well, no, I'm saying
John-
that he's right, but John Cena's not going to want to come back on this show
Because he acknowledged Taiwan?
because you acknowledged Taiwan. That was John Cena's big mistake that he
Got
made.
it.
Remember that?
If you said Thailand, that would be a whole different story.
What was his apology video?
He started out by
Did it
going
in-
"Ni hao," and then he just apologized in Mandarin for calling Taiwan a country.
But Hank didn't even call it a country.
I just said he's playing in Taiwan.
Well, if you'd been referring to it as part of China, you would have said Taipei.
Okay,
So good job.
got it. Thank
Okay.
Appreciate it, Hank.
PFT.
you. World-renowned politicizer. Politicist.
Yep, that's you. My hot seat is Georgia academics
Yeah, I had this as well.
because Stetson Bennett. Somebody did some research on him and looked up the graduation at Georgia that just happened last year. His name was not on the roll. He doesn't have a degree from Georgia, so he spent 7 years?
7 years.
7 years at the University of Georgia.
Some at a community college as well, or a JUCO as well.
Yeah.
And then came back.
Yep. Got the prereqs taken care of that way.
If he didn't, I saw someone wrote it, I think it might have been 6 and some change, but if he didn't, his first 2 years of college, if he didn't accumulate any credits, he still had a full 4.5 years to get his degree.
Yeah, this is Van Wilder type stuff.
Yeah.
Like legendary. Nobody had a better college experience besides the whole arrest thing than Stetson Bennett did.
Yes.
He had a fantastic time at Georgia.
Also, I didn't know, I learned this. Fun fact, Newman from Seinfeld went to Georgia, also didn't get a degree.
How many years?
Like a year maybe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would
But
would
there
check
you go.
out.
Yeah. Didn't they call Stetson Bennett the mailman too? Was that a nickname that he had for a while?
I don't know. Why would they call him the mailman?
He's just delivering.
Because he looked like a mailman?
Yeah, and he's delivering he doesn't really have to do much.
Or the paper boy just
Yeah,
throwing
he just
throwing
has
the
to just
newspaper.
get
That is his nickname.
It is his nickname. Why is it his nickname?
Looking.
Okay.
Wow, that's freaky.
Yeah.
My cool throne is U.S. soccer.
Yeah.
U.S. men's national team, because it's coming home. We just got to commit from, I'm going to try to say this name correct, Folarin Balogun. Folarin Balogun. He's on the Arsenal. He's on the Arsenals, and he's a striker, and we don't have a striker. He was trying to figure out if he was going to play for the English national team, or the American national team. He chose to play for the U.S. men's national team. So once again, he probably saw that game at the World Cup.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, the U.S. won the shit out of that draw. I want to play for some winners. So we got a big defection, biggest defection since Prince Harry came over to the United States a couple years ago. We got for Lauren Balogun, and he rounds out the golden generation of U.S. soccer.
I love that he just did this like it was a 17-year-old. Just is your watch talking?
Yeah, Siri's talking to me.
I love that he did this like a 17-year-old deciding what college to go to.
Yeah.
But it's a country.
Yeah, we got some NIL money. It was between us, England, and Nigeria. So I think he made the right choice. So it's coming home 2026.
Hell yes. Way to go, dude. Feels good. What do you got?
Got it. So he wore a mailman hat to recruiting showcases around the country as a way to stand out. Stetson
What?
Bennett.
That's weird.
That's very
His buddy's
weird.
father is
really
the mayor
weird.
of a small town around here, and he's always getting cool things. I saw the hat one day and asked if I could wear it. I first wore it to a camp in Valdosta, Georgia. I'm not real big or striking physically, but I wanted to have something people would remember me by.
Okay, so that's like another Seinfeld episode where George tried to get everybody to call him T-Bone.
Yeah.
And started eating steaks everywhere.
Yep.
He wore that hat specifically so people would start calling him I don't think we can give him that nickname anymore. I think we
No.
have to take it. You know what? Didn't graduate. He's the fail man.
Ooh. Burn.
How about that? You're the fail
Have
man,
that,
Stetson.
Stetson. You got 2 titles. Wait, he got drafted what? The 4th round?
4th or 5th?
Fifth
Yeah, the
round?
Rams.
Yeah.
He's in the Ramley.
Yeah, so he'll be fine.
Yeah, he'll be good.
He'll be great. Okay. So my hot seat was also Stetson Bennett. I'll pivot. Well, actually, no. Because we already talked about Doc Rivers getting fired, and Jay Wright possibly being the Sixers head coach. I'll just go right to my cool throne. My cool throne is Martha Stewart, who's on the cover of Sports Illustrated swimsuit. And would she be the definition of a baddie?
She is
She's a baddie. She's done time.
bad grandma.
Yeah. She's hot.
She looks good.
Go ahead, put it on there. She's
Yeah.
hot.
Listen, Martha Stewart is probably the hottest 81-year-old in the world.
And I feel no problem saying she's hot because she's on the Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition. She is on there being like, look how hot I am.
She wants me to call her hot.
Yeah, she's like, I am an older woman who is hot.
What kind of? Did she make her own swimsuit? That would have been cool if she had like
she croqueted or whatever.
Croqueted.
Yeah.
Yeah. Arts and crafted it.
Yeah.
It's made out of her grandmother's quilt.
What is it? Crochet.
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 I like croquet better though.
Crochet. Who
She looks
gives a
good
fuck?
though. Listen, she is. She does it for me.
I'd suck a fart out of her ass.
Yeah, I drink her bathwater.
Okay, Billy, you're
Actually would. I think I would.
I would suck a fart out of
And
Martha Stewart's ass.
I would drink Martha Stewart's bathwater. I bet you she's got like a luxury giant clawfoot tub in a well lit room.
Some scones next to it. That you
Oh,
can
yeah.
eat, like some. She probably has bathtub scones.
Yeah, Martha, come on the show.
Yeah,
Literally,
please
come on
the show.
Come on this show.
And give me that ass. And I'll suck that fart right out.
You know what?
I'll suck it out and spit it right in PFT's mouth.
Birthday show.
Yeah,
That's the birthday show that we record at midnight.
Fuck yeah.
Take her to Paris, show the Eiffel Tower, and then suck a fart out and pass it. Suck and blow.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Martha. That was.
No, I think that was exactly what she. I mean, look. She's hot.
Yeah.
What do you want to say? She's fucking hot.
I am but a man. At the end of the day, a man with a boner.
She's 81. Do you think she could still 69?
Oh yeah, on top and bottom.
Yeah. Standing 69? That might be a hip
Yeah.
issue. But we'll give it a try, Martha. Okay, Billy. Would you fuck Martha Stewart, Billy?
So my hot seat is
Pussy.
my hot seat's humanity. About a year ago, JP Morgan Chase started using
Martha Stewart's
software.
daughter is 57 years old.
Yeah, and Martha Stewart's way hotter than her daughter.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah.
Her daughter's too old for me, but Martha
No,
Stewart,
yeah.
she's just right.
Yeah.
Martha Stewart kind of looks like Donald Trump. A
Mm,
little
no.
bit.
You want to fuck her?
Yeah.
In other words,
You do want now. You do
No,
want
but
to
that's
fuck her.
like
Yeah.
question answered.
okay. So about a
Billy's
year ago,
so straight he
they
wouldn't
started
fuck
using
Martha
this
Stewart.
workforce. Started using this workforce activity data utility software, and now a year later, a manager for JP Morgan Chase came out on Reddit and actually said what this software was doing. And apparently it was using AI technology to track workers' eyeballs, physical attitude, and basically take all these invasive data points to ensure that their workers are like working 100% all the time. If they're having a bad day, and then had basically it ranked all of their workers on how hard they were working. It's kind of crazy because then during the work from home era, they were tapping their microphones and video cameras through like a third-party software that they thought was just like, a one login type thing. And, basically this person at JP Morgan wrote on Reddit. JP Morgan got it taken down off Reddit. We don't know if this is actually entirely true of what all this guy said, but basically he said
So-
that.
I was waiting for that.
So this is Billy read something on Reddit. We don't know if it's true.
No, but
no, he read
basically it
read
kept
something
getting
on
reported.
Reddit about something that got taken down on Reddit.
Got it.
Basically, they're saying that this stuff's like pretty insane how much data points it's collecting, and it's
And by they,
extremely
you
invasive.
mean
JP Morgan Chase.
So I'm looking for news. JP Morgan.
I
Doesn't look
think
like anyone's written
I
about
blogged
it.
about it.
Oh,
In-
okay. All right,
Okay,
all right,
no,
all
but
right.
it's out there. But some of the stuff
it?
it's out there.
Is
yeah,
it out there?
People
It's
have
out
written
there.
about it.
It's on Twitter.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
There we go.
All right.
And
Yep.
Telegram.
Yep.
Yeah, so basically it can detect if you have like a gaming system on your camera, or like illicit drugs in your background while you're like,
did the blog get posted?
it's about to be posted. No.
So it's not out there yet.
But basically they can look
it's
into
in
your
there,
camera,
but it's not out there.
and all these guys at JP Morgan Chase randomly been getting fired, and they think it's because they're looking into their backgrounds while they're zooming, or even while they're working when they don't think their camera's working.
I would think that if any company out there would not care about how much you're working, it would be a company like JP Morgan Chase, where they only care about the bottom line. It's like if you don't work hard but you still bring money in, then who gives a shit, right?
Yeah, this sounds like something that a bunch of people who got fired or pissed off about being fired made up to be like, this is why we got fired.
Blame AI.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a little crazy.
It is a little crazy. I would love to see if it's true.
I
But
think
yeah.
basically this person who leaked it, it's like been getting taken down off Reddit. So it's kind of weird that something like that's been getting taken down, even though it like was so like open ended that if it wasn't true, then it wouldn't be getting reported so
Got it.
consistently. It sounds like a PR
Big
team
Brother's
trying to get-
watching. Yeah. Okay.
Also, they were trying to do phishing schemes by trying to offer certain employees different jobs through emails, and if they click the link, that also like was bad for their score.
You're disloyal.
They were entrapping them.
You're
if they were
disloyal.
looking for jobs on company time.
Yeah. You remember when Dave sent out an email like 3 years ago being like, hey, we're opening up Barstool, Florida, just to see who was going to apply for the Barstool Miami position?
Yeah.
That was funny.
That was very good.
Oh, and my
Throne?
cool throne is Justice. Those two phishing cheaters from a couple years ago
Oh, nice.
finally got sentenced.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Congrats, Billy.
I can finally sleep tonight.
So, no, I was
they got
proud.
10 days in prison.
You did bust this case open.
Yeah, $2,500 fine, but this is the big. They got their boat
10
taken
days in
away.
prison is kind of the perfect amount.
Yeah, it's a nice figure.
To
Well,
be
it
to be like, I went to prison.
It depends on what day. I would love to go to prison the day after the Super Bowl until the combine.
But just to be like, oh yeah, I've done hard time.
Yeah.
10 days.
18 months probation and also a 3-year ban on ever getting a fishing license again. That's the max sentence they can ban them, but you still have to apply for a fishing license, and it's kind
So
of
they're
like
gonna just
they're going to basically ban from fishing for life because no state is going to allow them to get a fishing license.
I kind of like that. Never allowed to
So-
fish again. I was proud when I saw this news come through because I knew that you were instrumental in getting justice to be served in this case. So on behalf of Fish Everywhere, Billy, thank you. On the other hand, you're kind of a narc.
Well, they got caught.
Also, the fish
video-
were already
Yeah.
dead, right?
Yeah, but you're
No,
kind
but
of
they were
a,
no, they
you kind of
they-
snitched on them.
It was
you
a
dry
fishing
snitched.
competition,
Right, but
who
were the-
can catch the biggest fish, and then they were stuffing weights in the fish.
Right, but the fish were already dead, so you didn't actually save any fish's life.
No, they were. I don't care. They're eating all of them.
Okay.
What happened was they were stealing from other fishermen by
Yeah.
winning the contest,
Right.
getting huge boats,
Right.
tons of prize money.
But they already got caught doing that at the competition, so they're already in trouble. You just kind of sent them to prison.
Right.
I also sent George Santos to prison.
And you didn't save any fish.
I don't care about that part.
Okay. You don't
You
care about the fish?
No.
All right.
All right, well.
I thought you were a wildlife guy.
I mean, care about sustainable fishing.
Oh,
but-
okay.
there we go.
All right. Well, then
Yeah.
now
This
we're
is
back.
walleye
Yeah.
fishing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, well, thank you, Billy. Thank you for your
Yes.
service.
You fucking put those guys in jail. Hell yes.
What they did was fucked up.
Yeah.
What they did is
You're
worse than
basically a cop
any-
now.
Yeah.
Any like sports.
And if
it
those-
was probably one of the worst sports cheating scandals in the past 10 years.
It is.
Yeah.
We got
Yeah.
weights and
Easily.
fish.
Yeah.
Easily.
it was
It's up
nuts.
there. Puts the Astros to shame. All right, Jake.
My hot seat is Matthew Stafford and Clayton Kershaw
Oh.
because there is a new sports duo out there
Oh, yeah.
that grew up together. Jason Tatum and Matthew Tkachuk of the Florida Panthers.
Shut the fuck up.
7th,
Yup.
8th, and 9th grade together at Chaminade in the St. Louis area. And now they're both in the Final Four of their respective sports.
Wow.
That's wild.
I didn't have a hot seat. I'll do my hot seat right now. Jake, you're on the hot seat
Why's that?
because we have the Final Four, the same Final Four as the bubble, and you didn't mention that
It
on
is.
Monday. That is
Yes.
why I actually
Yes.
saw that stat and was like, Jake will definitely bring
I
this
think it was
up
just
'cause
like
it's
so
wild.
obvious that I assumed you guys would, and I just didn't have it written down.
Yeah,
No,
well,
I
no,
need
you
the
should never
wilds.
assume,
Yeah.
you should
The
never assume
wilds.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So bubble real?
No,
Well,
Eh.
no. But I do think that the bubble is
shut
where
up, Max.
that's where I fell in love with these Nuggets.
Yeah.
Was in the bubble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the bubble parts of the bubble were real to me.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a bubble within a bubble that's real.
Yeah, Jimmy Butler was real.
But Jimmy Butler in the bubble was real.
Also, Anthony Davis was real.
Also, the Suns getting sucked off was real.
Yep,
So there's
very
certain
real.
parts of the bubble that were
But
very
LeBron
real.
winning it all, not
Not
real
Not
for you
real.
guys.
That one, no. Anthony Davis did. Anthony Davis won it all.
Right. My cool throne is Peacock because it will be streaming exclusively an NFL playoff game just to further prove that streaming live broadcasts are the future.
Mm-hmm.
So this is happening January. A lot of people aren't happy about it.
Well-
It's behind a paywall. But hey, Barstool.tv, we're doing a bunch. And the NFL is clearly agreeing with that model because they're putting an entire NFL playoff game as a stream.
We're not behind a paywall though.
We are
Yeah,
not
we're
behind a paywall.
But yeah, I mean, it's genius by Peacock and the NFL because
We're going to watch.
everyone's going to want to try to figure out. It's going to crash.
Mm-hmm.
They better figure that fucking shit out because if it crashes, I'll never forgive them.
It might crash it also might just the big problem whenever we talk about streaming is the different variations of the delay that everyone's going to have. So some people are going to watch it a couple seconds before me. That's going to piss me off.
But yeah, we've done it with Amazon. I mean, we did with Amazon.
Yeah,
we're ready for it.
They've gotten us used to it over the last couple
But
years.
Peacock as like an app has sucked. So I hope that they figure it out.
Yeah.
Like I try to watch The Office all the time and like buffers and shit.
All I want on any one of these streaming apps is just the ability to like swipe up and have the video still playing.
Yes.
As I go into another app.
Correct.
And maybe even watch another video in another app while that first video is still playing.
TNT not having that has been the most annoying thing in these playoffs.
I hate it.
Yeah, because I want to, like, when I'm watching a late night game and I'm laying in bed, I want to watch the game and scroll Twitter.
Yeah, I'll scroll Twitter and then I'll press play on a highlight from the same game that I'm watching.
Yeah.
I want to be able to watch the highlight on Twitter as I'm watching the other game and maybe something on YouTube at the same time. Is that too much to ask?
Right. I need is and playing a game on Candy Crush.
Yeah, get Candy Crush going.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good job, Jake.
Thank you.
Let's get to our interviews. We got Brooks Koepka back on the show, and then we have Daniel Rappaport, our colleague, talking about the PGA Championship. Before we do that, PFTU had an ad.
This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. May is Mental Health Awareness Month. It's so easy to get caught up in what everyone else needs from you and never take a moment to think about what you need from yourself. When we spend all of our time giving, it can leave us feeling stretched thin, burned out, running on empty. Therapy is an opportunity to intentionally put yourself first. It can give you the tools to find more balance, clarity, and intention in your life so that you can keep supporting others while also thriving as an individual. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online. It's designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. If you're ready to try it out, just fill out a brief questionnaire, get matched with a licensed therapist, and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. Find more balance with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/PMT today. Get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp.com/PMT. And now here's Brooks Koepka.
Okay, we now welcome on a very, very, very special guest. He is a recurring guest many times. It's been too long. He did have a one-day suspension that he appealed, and we took away his suspension. But it is Brooks Koepka, and he is calling in live from the PGA Championship. Brooks, I'll start. It's just great to see your face.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, it's good to see you guys. It's been way too long.
I know.
Yes.
So let's start here. People thought we hated you. We never hated you. There was a portion of time where you couldn't come on because you might have joined a different golf league. And you do still hate Dave, but there's never been beef between Pardon My Take and Brooks.
No, Pardon My Take and me and Blake are good. Yeah, Dave. I don't even hate Dave. I just saw Dave like a month ago maybe a month and a half ago down to the Celtics game. So we talked, said hi. I think he was down there with his girl. It was quite fun.
Yeah.
Listen, he likes to talk some shit. I love it.
Yeah.
You look great though. You look happy. We were watching you at the Masters. You played really well those first 3 rounds at the Masters. You were awesome.
Yeah.
It was fun to watch though.
Reality kicked in.
Well,
Yeah.
did reality kick in or did Hank kick in? Because both Big Cat and I had significant. We were rooting for you very, very hard. I'll put it that way. And then Hank basically put the green jacket on you in Photoshop at least, and then some other stuff happened.
Yeah, I mean, he mushed me. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
It does suck, but hey, it is what it is.
Now, when you lost the Masters, would you characterize it as a choke? I wouldn't, but some people did.
I'd characterize that as a joke.
Damn.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. Yeah, I mean, come on, you got a 4-shot lead. All you got to do. I was playing good and just choked it away, but it's all right. We'll figure it out.
I don't want to get you in any trouble, but hypothetically, let's say someone on the golf course is playing slowly in front of you. You like to play fast. Does it kind of like ruin your rhythm sometimes, hypothetically, if someone was playing slow in front of you?
Yeah, I mean, hypothetically, nobody would, right?
No.
So,
Right.
Yeah, it's brutal. It was really bad. I think we waited every shot.
Hypothetically.
But hypothetically, we would have waited every shot. Yeah.
Hypothetically, we have an interview coming up with Dan Rappaport after this where we may have suggested to him that in a situation like that, hypothetically, the player that's waiting could just bomb a tee shot into that person and hit him in the ribs, like in baseball, brush him back a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, it's a warning shot, right?
Yeah.
You have to.
Hypothetically,
I
but
think I should start doing that. Listen, hypothetically, I think you could give that warning shot probably on live. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
but
Yeah.
you do seem to be playing really well recently. Anybody that's followed what you've been doing on the Live Tour and the Masters has seen that. How are we feeling going into the PGA Championship? Because I feel like Koepka's guys, you've got an army that's just waiting to be reactivated behind you.
Honestly, I'm hoping because this is my good luck charm.
Yes.
Last time I came on to the PGA here. I mean, pardon my take is my good luck charm. So let's take it and roll with it.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So we also saw Full Swing. I texted you about it. I think that episode was good. Like, overall, would you say that was good that people got to see that side of you? Because I was watching it and I was like, look, I know Brooks. I like him. He's a friend. But seeing like you go through the injuries and the mental side of golf, when you watched it all come out, were you like, this is good that people finally have seen this side of my story? It's not all easy and like, fun.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a different side of what I've probably let on, but there's a lot of stuff that wasn't shown. It was interesting, but at the end of the day, I mean, look, I am who I am. I was authentically myself, and it's like reality TV. They can kind of script it how they want to script it.
Yeah, I do want to have your back though for one moment. There was a scene where you were talking to your mom in your living room, and you looked angry, and you texted me after that. Actually, that scene happened during March Madness, and you had just suffered a very bad loss. They should have shown that because, like, someone after a bad March Madness loss cannot be judged as a regular human being.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I literally just couldn't move on. I'm sure every gambler knows this. I think there was a bit of cleanup that needed to happen before the cameras got there. Yeah, it wasn't pretty. I walked into a bad situation.
Yes,
Yeah.
and you were wearing the Triggered sweatshirt, which was so perfect.
Yeah. I actually, it was funny because I went up and showered and I just put it. I was so pissed off. I went up and put the Triggered hoodie on.
It's so perfect.
There was another scene that I thought they did you dirty on. They showed a lot of interaction with you and your dog, and you weren't petting your dog when the camera was on you. And I thought that that should be put in proper context where you were petting your dog that day. It's just when the camera happened to be on you, it looked like you weren't petting your dog enough. I think that's fucked up to do to a person.
Yeah, of course, right? We're all dog lovers.
Yeah,
well,
exactly.
not Max.
Well,
Yeah.
certain parts of the
Max,
dog he
our
loves.
producer Max.
Yeah.
So what's changed recently? Are you just healthier than you've been in the past? Are you mentally you're feeling better? Was there a turning point?
It was just honestly, it was just health, man. My knee was a lot worse than I probably let on to a lot of people, and it feels good now. It feels really good. And then the other thing is too is you get into bad habits. Golf is so like mechanical and all this stuff, and if you get into bad habits, man, it takes a long time just to get rid of them. So that off season was nice. I like that off season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So let's talk about Live because you're crushing it on Live. What, like, when you get out there and you're playing in these tournaments, does it feel totally different than playing on PGA like Tour golf? Is it like, because we see the clips, guys throwing beers, people wearing shorts. Is it just golf at the end of the day, or is it like a lot of fun?
It's pretty badass, man. I mean, I think everybody saw the video of my brother making that hole-in-one with Bert there with his shirt off. Everybody's chucking beer. My brother said he was soaked in beer, which is awesome. But yeah, no, it's a lot of fun. I mean, the music's going the whole time. It's like if you go play with your boys, exactly what it would be like just with fans there.
That's cool.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, it does sound fun, especially the getting soaked in beer part. Sounds awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, one thing that I think golf could learn from either if it's Live or if it's the waste management where they have the stadium hole, golf should have more like stadium type environments in it, and just let people go
absolutely.
ape shit.
Oh yeah, it's the best. Honestly, it's way more fun when music's going, right? You do anything, you put music, a bunch of beer, and a lot of people. Makes for some fun times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We asked Dan Rappaport, which is coming up after your interview. There was a story that Tiger hit up Rory and was like, "Hey, I could fix your swing." If Tiger hit you up, would you go over to his house and let him fix your swing, or is that something that's like, hey, this is my swing. Don't worry about it.
I don't know what I would do. I don't know. He's never hit me up to be like, yo, come on over to the house. I don't think I've ever got that invite.
Yeah.
So you'd have to.
I don't think I will. I don't think I will.
Yeah, it might at this point. Is it weird though with the, like, I would assume, and maybe I'm way wrong. Obviously the live stuff happened last year. There was a lot of waves. Now that you guys are, the Masters happened, now the second major, is it just the same in the locker room, or is there any bad blood that happens in the locker room?
No, it's so funny. There's no bad blood. Everybody's so chill about it. Everyone understands, right? It's a business at the end of the day. Like, you look at football, guys are holding out for contracts because they want this. Basketball, same thing. Everyone gets it. I think it was more like media driven than there is anything. But everybody's cool with each other. Everybody's still good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Has there been any talk that you've heard about the PGA Tour letting live players play in more events that they want to play in and not having it be like an exclusive thing?
No, I haven't heard anything about the PGA Tour, but I did hear about the Ryder Cup. I think there is a possibility where, I guess, the live player could be playing the Ryder Cup. It'd be fun. Represent your country. That'd be sick.
Yeah. I think on behalf of America, we should make that happen.
Yeah.
How does this course set up? Did they try to Brooks proof this course, or is it a course that you can get out there and attack?
They tried, but they failed. Honestly, today it was blowing like 30. It was brutal today. It's a fun golf course. They redid it. It's actually the 10-year anniversary of my caddy. My caddy for me here in 2013. He showed up 30 minutes late. Rick, I still don't know how he's got the job.
Yeah.
I'm only kidding, but no, Rick's the best. So yeah, it's kind of crazy. This is where it all started for us.
I love that.
Would you shoot today?
I think I shot 3 over on the front, which wasn't bad. Honestly, it's blown. It's impossible out there.
Okay, that feels bad though.
Yeah, but today doesn't matter.
Okay,
That's the only good part.
Yeah, the lights aren't on yet.
I know.
Major
we gotta
Brooks is
start on
back.
Thursdays.
Yeah.
Yeah, major.
So
Thursdays now. It's a lot different.
Yeah.
Can we talk about that real quick? Like, everyone always says during a major, like, for whatever reason, Brooks just is able to turn it on during a major and focus. Do you still have that mindset, or coming back from injuries and being out of that top level for a year or so? Did you have to start focusing even on the small tournaments that you might not have cared about in the past, so that you get yourself in the habit of winning again?
Yeah, I think there's a combination of everything there. When I finally, after this off season, I finally was like, okay, all right, I gotta really step it up. So yeah, I guess the live events I've had to use just to make sure that I'm ready coming into the majors, and that's what you use it for. You're just using it for reps, right? At the end of the day, all anybody cares about is majors and how many majors you got. I always ask anybody when they talk about it, it's like they know how many majors Jack Nicklaus won, Tiger, Gary Player, Arnold Palmer, but they don't know how many events they won total around the world. So that's the benchmark, right?
Yeah,
At the end of the day, it's not how many wins in the regular season did you have. It's how many Super Bowls you win.
Exactly. Yeah. Do you feel different on major week? Like you wake up in the morning, you're like, oh yeah, my body knows it's a major.
I wish. I wish it was that way. No, I just think, right, there's more energy going on. There's way more people. It's a lot more intense, and I don't know. You can tell, man. I love when everyone gets a little rowdy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You recently announced you're going to be a father. You're having a baby boy.
Yes, a boy, and I'm just gonna say it out there that Blake was definitely thrown around on my side.
Yes.
Blake was definitely thrown around.
I wait, hold on. I understood what you just said there, because I have thrown out some. I was trying to name one of my sons Dion. That got shut down. But the way you phrase that means that it's not Blake, because you said it was thrown out on my side. That means that was a hard block.
Yeah, I don't know how Jenna felt about that one, but it was blocked.
Yes.
It was vetoed very quickly.
Yes.
She's like, I hear enough, Blake. I'm not doing this again.
Yes.
So, oh man, but it was funny. Yeah. So I don't know. We haven't figured out a name yet, but we're working on it.
Okay.
What if you win though? If you win a major, you should be able to be like, I get to name.
You know what? If I win this week, I'll call her when I'm done with this. I'll be like, if I win this week, Blake is definitely on the table.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's Blake and whatever else. I think that's a fair trade.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
And then you can flip a coin.
Yes.
Yeah.
We could do it on the show.
Dude, listen, yeah, we'll do it with the lottery ball machine. I actually, my son was born on Friday, and we were down between two names, and I was like, why don't we flip a coin? And my wife was like, are you fucking serious? I was like, what? That'd be funny if we hey, you're this
lottery
name.
ball
'cause-
thing.
Yeah, you're this name because it went
I love it.
tails.
Listen, I'll talk to her. I'll see what I can do. I'll tell her after I get off the phone with you guys.
Yeah, the first ever Blake reveal on Part of My Take.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
Blake
like
reveal.
this.
Love it.
I like this. Yeah, the key to naming your children is you got to anchor the negotiations at the craziest things possible, because then after childbirth, newsflash, the woman is pretty tired because pretty crazy, and then you can be like, so yeah, maybe just Blake, and they're like, yeah, maybe Blake. This is how it works. This is how negotiations work.
Listen, I don't know. Yeah, I'll take your advice on it.
Yeah, it's like I said Dion. We could go with Dion, or we could go with Blake.
Yeah, you could maybe also anchor it even further with a much worse name than Blake, and be like, the two names I was thinking of was like, I don't know, what's a bad name?
Bryson.
I was thinking either Bryson or Blake, and then she'll be like, ew, definitely not
Or
Bryson.
Brandel.
Yeah, Brandel.
Brandel or
Wait,
Blake.
Yeah.
so are you?
We could throw a lot of names into this lottery.
Yeah, there's a lot of names. Are you? You and Bryson, you guys made amends, right?
Yeah. We talked it out. We hashed it out. I think, with all the live stuff, we kind of had to come together. So we're good. And then, I just had Brandy's still the same. I haven't talked to him.
Yeah.
Shambles.
Brandon,
Yeah.
he's the
Who knows?
worst. Yeah.
So there have been people that have accused us of favoring Max Homa over you. I just want to make it clear, we love all of our golf children. We love them all. Do you have any relationship with Max?
Yeah. Max is a good dude. I like him. I mean, obviously, I don't get to see him anymore with Live and PGA, but he's a good dude. He's funny.
Okay,
He's
so
good with the Twitter fingers.
Yeah.
Well, there's no jealousy of Max because he's been on the show in the last couple of years. Is there? I just want to make sure that all of our children feel loved.
No jealousy. No, we good. We're good.
Okay.
All right,
There's still
good.
love. I got you.
Hey,
love you.
remember when you got, what was it? Was it maybe Masters last year when you were injured and your trainer came out and started like rubbing your leg down and stuff? That was weird.
Oh yeah, that was. Where was that? I remember. I think that was a few years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah. That was it just struck me because we're used to, we watch sports, guy gets injured, it's normal like on a football field or basketball court, but then when a golfer gets injured and they're like getting worked on, you're like, what's going on here? This is weird.
Yeah. Golfers are a bit weird anyway, so yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
What happened at the Masters when your caddy was very clearly just telling not the other caddy, but the announcing team
Oh yeah.
what club you chose to hit? Did you have to be like, hey, just in the future make sure that you're clearly telling the announcers and not the other caddy?
You know what? It's so funny because if you watch enough golf, there's a bunch of TV crews running around. There's a million people inside the ropes, and all the commentators want to know is what you hit. So usually there's someone standing right beside you, and you got to tell them what you hit. Everyone's standing on par threes. You'll signal to the guy, and then they pulled us in on Thursday, and then on Friday, I guess something was going around on Twitter or something. I didn't see it, but I was trying to take my glove off, and they tried to tell me that I was signaling 5 to Gary. And it was interesting. I was like, I don't know how you want me to take my glove off with my fist closed. Like, what would you like me to do?
Right.
So we got pulled in 2 days in a row, and it was funny. The best part about it is Gary was like, I had no idea you hit 5 because he was like a club in front of me. He was like, if I knew you hit 5, I'd have hit 6, and he'd ended up in the water. So he lucked out.
Yeah. We don't worry about Twitter. We're policing Twitter. I was on top of it.
No, we're good.
I was very much on top of it, going after people being like, this is ridiculous. Just a bunch of snitches.
Yeah, you got to get in the trenches every once in a while, don't you?
Yeah, we were in the trenches.
How far do you crush a drive off the tee when you have that like 20, 30 mile an hour wind at your back?
Ooh, probably like 350.
That's awesome.
Oof.
Damn,
Nice.
Same. But yeah, that's awesome for
So
you too.
today, first tee shot today did that and went right into the hazard. That was good.
Have you ever thought about doing driver off the deck?
No, I can't do that. Dude, I'd be terrible. I would look like an average golf. I would look like everyone else if I did that. I'd be
well,
brutal.
I mean, I look pretty good when I do it, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got to play. Yeah, we haven't played yet.
We actually are going to make it. PFT and I are going to make a trip down to Florida because Hank got to play at Michael Jordan's golf course and we weren't able to do it. So we're going to just do the two of us going down there.
We probably won't
I'm a
even play
member
this
there.
round.
When did he play?
Like a week ago, we had to work. He got to play golf at Michael Jordan's golf course.
Shocker. Yeah, he's got days off.
He was
yeah.
networking, he said.
Must be nice.
Yeah.
But didn't invite any of the people that he saw on the show.
Yeah,
but he was working.
he was playing with some actual golf pros that we'd love to have on the show, and he did not get us any. Well, Hank, you're actually on right now. Why don't you defend yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't want to. It was the boys were out there playing golf. I didn't want to like if you came out there and some random guy that you didn't know was like bothering you to come on a podcast, like it would be annoying. So I didn't want to annoy him. It was DJ.
Well, yeah, it was Dustin Johnson. He knows what Barstool is.
And
he knows what Pardon My Take is.
Some podcast.
Yeah.
You talking
he
about?
definitely knows. I just played with him today. I told him I was coming on here.
Yeah, he probably was like sick. I wish someone would invite me.
No, it was. I don't know. I just didn't want to overstep. I didn't want to overstep the boundaries. It's a great course. I didn't want to get I didn't want to get banned forever by being like the guy that was annoying on the course. I thought I was being respectful. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds like Big Cat and PFT are coming down to the Grove. Come play with me.
Yes.
Yep.
Fuck yes, we are.
Yeah, it sounds awesome. That sounds amazing.
No, you're not coming.
Hey,
Hank.
I was gonna say if we win a fourth, we'll get Caleb to come or somebody.
Yeah. No big deal.
Exactly. Live right there. That's perfect. Okay, last question. Actually, Roback question. Promo code TAKE for 20% off your first purchase. Q-Zips, polos, hoodies, joggers, shorts. Now that the Florida Panthers are in the conference finals, we got to ask you about the traffic cone and what was the story behind that?
So it was Italian night, and one of my buddies is Italian, so he asked that we dressed up. So we had the tracksuits, the hair slicked back, the chains, everything. We had it all going. We tailgated, and I can't remember for the life of me who they were playing. But I had the team total under for the other team.
Okay.
And I can't remember what it was, but Ekblad gave up. It was like a bad pass. And the team total over just happened to hit right after that goal was scored. A lot of alcohol, a lot of anger. Yeah, it wasn't good. I let him have it.
Where did the traffic cone come from? Were you just bringing a traffic cone in?
I did not bring it in. No, it was just there. It was the first thing I saw. I've been told it's now a pylon.
Okay.
So I was, I guess, incorrect in my verbiage, but yeah, I was so mad. I basically lost every bet that game, and it was a disaster.
It was
Clearly
a great
I didn't
image.
quit, but
Looking at
not
it right
going to.
now, that's definitely a traffic cone. I don't know who's telling you it's a pylon. That's a traffic cone. And you said that you were very well hydrated at the game, which I thought was maybe too hydrated.
I was. No, you can never be too hydrated. Right?
Yeah. It was Italian night.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Like
I was living my best life that night.
Yeah, you can't judge a man on Italian night.
They should have put
Otherwise, Rick Pitino would be in jail.
It's true.
Yeah, come on.
That's true.
You can't do that.
They also should have had a traffic cone up there for you to grab. That's entrapment.
Yeah.
That's anti-Italian discrimination as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. I was surprised there wasn't more. I'm surprised the Peas didn't dog me after screwing up Augusta with like some kind of pylon something.
Oh yeah.
I would have.
That
would have been great.
Yeah. So
they should have dogged me.
Yeah.
Are you rooting for the Panthers?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay.
We got the Peas. We got season tickets, so we got a box down there. Me and my boys, we always go down. It's a load of fun. Stay well hydrated and have a good time.
I love it. All right. Well, Brooks, we will talk to you on Sunday night. Let's just put it into
Sunday night.
Yeah, put it out in the orbit. We'll talk to you on Sunday night. It's gonna be great. You're gonna fucking crush it this weekend. And it was great seeing you. It's good. We got to get you in person sometime soon again.
I love it. I know. I think I might actually be in New York City here in like a month and a half, so I'll pop by.
Well, we're moving to Chicago, so you'll just have to do it in Chicago.
That's fine. We can
Yeah.
do that. We come to Chicago in like a month and a half too.
There you go. A lot of golf courses
Perfect.
out there.
Let's fucking go.
Easy.
Yeah.
I'll have to
do
give
it.
you some lessons.
Yeah, you should let us caddy for you on one of like the practice rounds.
Yeah, I think the pro-am days we'll play. We'll
Okay.
set it up.
Can we
Beautiful.
Can we do
Okay,
a pro-am where it's like all of us as your am and we just do alternate shot?
Yeah, we can do whatever we want.
Yeah.
Make the
love it.
rules, right?
Golf but louder.
Yes, exactly. All right. Thanks so much, Brooks. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, I'll see you, boys.
Brooks was brought to you by HelloFresh. Flavor is in full bloom at HelloFresh. Enjoy the taste of spring with chef-crafted recipes featuring ripe seasonal ingredients delivered right to your door. HelloFresh does more than just delicious dinners. Not only can you take your pick from 40 weekly recipes, but you can choose from over 100 items to round out your order. From snacks and easy lunches to desserts and pantry necessities, you get everything that arrives in one box on delivery day that you choose. No more scouring the grocery store for that one ingredient to complete your recipe. HelloFresh takes away all that hassle because they deliver fresh, pre-portioned ingredients so that you have exactly what you need, and it helps you cut down on food waste too. Check Save Money off your growing to-do list with the help of HelloFresh. HelloFresh is cheaper than grocery shopping, and it's 25% cheaper than takeout. Once I get to Chicago, I'm going to get HelloFresh going. I'm going to stop eating takeout every single day. I'm going to save money. I'm going to save time on trips to the grocery store, and I'm going to get in shape because before you know it, Labor Day abs right around the corner for us this summer. Going to be in great shape by NFL season. HelloFresh is going to help me get there. No worries if you're not a pro in the kitchen. HelloFresh's foolproof recipes arrive pre-portioned and easy to prepare in just a few steps. Go to HelloFresh.com/take16. Use code TAKE16. Get 16 free meals plus free shipping. That's HelloFresh.com/take16. Use code TAKE16 for 16 free meals plus free shipping. And now, here is Rap Sheet Dan Rappaport.
Okay, we now welcome on a very special guest. It is our colleague, Daniel Rappaport from Foreplay, Barstool Sports. He is a golf writer. In a former life, he was a Big J journalist. He is still that. He's calling in live from Oak Hill, the press tent, I believe, is what you got going on.
Yeah, I believe it's the media center these days. They're trying to keep up with the time, so it's the media center. But yes, this is the press tent.
Okay, so you're at the course. We want to do a PGA Championship preview with you live from the course. Let's start with just a quick backstory for people who don't know you. If you watched Full Swing, you actually saw him on Full Swing. He was one of the journalists. But can you give people just a quick 30 seconds? Here's who I am and how I got to Barstool.
Yeah, 30 seconds. Huge nerd. Went to Northwestern like all the rest of the nerds. Worked at Sports Illustrated. Just kept being a huge nerd. Went to Golf Digest. Got a little bit somewhat less nerdy. Started doing some cool stuff. Became friends with the Foreplay guys who you guys might think of as nerds, but are pretty cool trailblazers in the golf space. About 6 months ago, they asked me to join and do something new and make a bunch more money and write less. So it was like, yeah, let's do it.
Have you thought about bringing back the thing where people just run each other over in golf carts? Foreplay was they were at the bleeding edge of that technology back in 2016.
They were trying to get it shut down.
Yeah.
They were trying to stop a good time.
The videos, they still hit. You watch someone get hit full speed with a golf cart, and it's funny every single time.
Yeah,
they always cut right after because you don't know if the guy is okay or on the ground. But when they cut right after, it's perfect.
No, they're all dead. Everybody that was in those. So there was multiple homicides on a golf course.
When that whole thing happened, it was so perfect because I was like, I don't condone this, and I don't want people to do it. But if you show me the video, I will laugh every single time.
It's an undefeated formula. Running over an unsuspecting friend with a golf cart, I don't see any downsides to it at all.
You also buried the lead here. So, I mean, you were on full swing, and people saw you last year. You're also Matt Fitzpatrick's best friend.
Yeah. That was my claim to fame for a really long time. I was the guy who was just always talking about Matt Fitzpatrick. He became really good, which was really good for my career. So it worked out nicely.
That's like Brian Windhorst, LeBron,
or Ahmad Rashad, Michael Jordan.
Yeah, that's perfect.
You gotta hit yourself to the right wagon. That's part of life.
So, do you actually, from a journalist perspective, do you have to disclose whenever you're writing about him? Maybe not now at Barstool, but in the past, would you have to be like, "Hey, we're actually best friends"?
Yeah, I'd usually try to put in a line like, "Oh, we go way back," because we became friends in college. Well before I knew he was a hell of a golfer. So I would be lying if I said it wasn't like a, "Hey, I know who you are. Let's be friends." But we go way back. So yeah, I would write something saying, "But at Barstool, there's really no rules," and that's something that I'm learning in general at Barstool is there's just really no rules. Just make good content, and I like it a lot.
Well, there's one rule.
Yeah, there's one
There
rule.
is one rule. I think we were all reminded of that last week. I was actually told that when I signed the contract. There's about one rule.
No bone thugs.
No bone thugs. Yeah. Well, Crossroads. I think Crossroads is relatively clean.
Yeah,
but what day is it today? It's May 17th. This will air, so you're good. So I want to talk about the golf course, Oak Hill in Rochester, south of Buffalo, Western New York. Seems like a beautiful course. Can you just give me the Reader's Digest version of things, because we do root for the golf course when it comes to major tournaments. Can you give us some examples of things that we should be on the lookout for, things that we should be rooting for when it comes to the course dominating the players this week?
Yeah, well, the golf course is coming with a new set of tools. It's been completely redone. In 2019, it opened. It's one of these old courses that opened in the golden age of golf architecture, which is like the 1920s. This guy, Donald Ross, who's a very famous architect, built it. It had been kind of changed throughout the years. There's a big trend in golf courses these days where you have new guys, new architects coming in. They find old plans from the original golf course, and they basically slash down a ton of trees, build new bunkers, and make it look like it did in the 20s. So this course they had a major in 2013, the PGA Championship here, but it's been completely redone. There's 3 new holes. The guys are saying it's very difficult. The guys are saying the rough is very long. The fairway bunkers you got to stay out of. So if you are rooting for the golf course this week, which I totally support, I would root for as many balls as possible to end up in those fairway bunkers because they are very penal.
Okay, so and then how long is this golf course? Is it longer than normal? Is it bigger? Let's talk about the size.
Yeah, the size is it's sizable for sure. Major championship golf courses these days are usually in this kind of 7,300 to 7,600 yards. This one's not quite as long as like a Shinnecock or a Kiowa because it's not quite so firm. It's not late in the summer where it's super baked out. It's firm, but it's not as firm as you might see like in the British Open. So the balls won't be rolling quite so far. So it's not quite as long as the longest ones you've seen, but it's definitely not small.
Okay,
so it sounds like it's long, but not girthy.
Right. And it gets the job done.
Fairly narrow. Yeah.
It definitely gets the job done. It's definitely long. I wouldn't say it's like overwhelming with its size, but it's definitely long and narrow.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. It's a good, solid golf course.
Grower, not
it's like a chill. It's like a chill size. You know what I mean? It's a chill size.
Boyfriend golf course.
Tossed around. It's like, listen, you're not going to finish and be like, wow, that was borderline painful, but it's a chill size. Gets the job done.
All right. I like that. The other big storyline I've been reading a lot about is the live golfers. So Phil took some personal time for was it the last PGA Championship, and just said I'm going to lay low for the benefit of the event, and just kind of take some time off here. But there's a lot of golfers that at the Masters from the Live Tour finished like really, really high, like in the top 10. It was just a bunch of Live guys, and I know Hank's rooting for the Live Tour in general. I'm rooting for the Four Aces and Brooks Koepka from the Live Tour. Which Live guy do you think has the best chance of winning this PGA Championship?
Yeah, I love Live Hank, by the way. It's a great little bit he's got going on. I would say Brooks. I think Brooks is fully back. I know you guys are big Brooks guys. Just the way he played at the Masters, the way he looked at the Masters, he finally seems to be healthy. And he played really solid in the last 3 Live events leading in. And, Brooks, as you guys know better than anyone, I think he likes being a little bit of a villain. I think he likes having a chip on his shoulder. I think he likes walking off the golf course and being like, everyone doubts me. Everyone thinks I can't do this. And so I like where he's at big time. Dustin Johnson won last week. So those 2 on the Live Tour. So those 2 would be the guys that I would highlight. But, Brooks is a 2-time winner of this event. He's never missed the cut in 10 career PGA Championship starts. He delivers in the majors. He's got 15 top 6 finishes in the major championships in his career. I think Major Brooks is back. I would not be surprised at all if he won it.
So when you're watching golf now with the Live Tour, and you mentioned Dustin Johnson won last week, how do you translate that to PGA Tour success, where it's like we know Jon Rahm and Scottie Scheffler have been red hot, have been winning. I think Jon Rahm has won 4 times already this year. Do you count the Live? You can't count the Live Tour as exactly the same as a win, but so how do you look at that and see what Dustin Johnson did and be like, how does that translate to what you expect from him this weekend?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think the Masters went a long way toward answering that question. Before, we had no idea. There was this narrative within golf, which in hindsight is pretty silly. That is like, oh, these guys went to live. Maybe they suck now. Maybe they all suck. In 3 months, they decided, oh, we've got all this Saudi cash. We're just going to be on the boat. We're not practicing anymore. These guys are competitors. They're still the same players that they were. The world rankings are no longer a really good indicator of how a guy's playing, but there are other ranking systems out there, and I'll give Data Golf a plug because they're great, and they do rank live golfers. So to give you a little bit of comparison here, so Dustin Johnson in the official world golf ranking, give me a second here to search this, Dustin Johnson in the official world golf ranking is 82nd, okay, because they don't get points in the live events. He's 19th in the Data Golf rankings.
Oh,
so there's different ways that you can look at it that do factor in. Look, they're still really good players. There's only 48 of them, and the bottom half are not good. There are a lot of very bad players on live, but if you're winning live events, you're still beating guys who a month ago, 3 of the top 6, as you guys mentioned, of the Masters were live guys. So I view it as, they're winning golf tournaments. They're confident. They're checking all the boxes coming into it, and there's no reason that a live guy can't win a major, which would be very, very dramatic.
So, okay, that's a great answer. It's good to know because I do see like, oh yeah, Dustin Johnson won. It's like, well, does that really count as a win? How are we judging this? Who competing this weekend? Who has the best game for this specific golf course?
Yeah, it's hard because, with these majors that aren't Augusta, they change every year. So the first 3 days is really learning the golf course. We don't have, at PGA Tour events, you can look back, okay, for the last 5 years at Riviera, this guy has played well, or these are the stats. We don't really have anything, especially because this golf course, the last time they had a major was 10 years ago, and it was a completely different golf course. But it seems to be a place where you got to be very disciplined. It's there's not going to be a ton of birdies. It's not going to be hitting a lot of balls close. It's going to be a lot of playing to the middle of the green, 2-putting, and kind of playing that disciplined, ruthless, unemotional style. The guy who I really like this week, who would be a bit of a snoozer champion, is Patrick Cantlay.
Oh.
I feel like I know you guys didn't want to hear that, but stole Tiger's caddy, and I feel like he's going to win his first major this week.
So, all right, so I actually had 2 Patrick Cantlay questions that I wanted to ask you. One is the pace of play. What is the PGA Tour going to do about it? Because it's bullshit. He is maddening to watch. And the second was if you could maybe expound on what his Joe LaCava, Tiger's old caddy, what that actually does for Patrick Cantlay. Is it a huge advantage?
So the first question is, the PGA Tour will probably do nothing because they have a competitor right now, and they just can't be in the business of pissing off their own players. And they just aren't. I think they're going to go for the path of least resistance. It's maddening to watch. I totally agree. The players themselves are frustrated, but the ratings are up. And at the end of the day, if the ratings are up, the PGA Tour can say, you know what? It doesn't really seem like a big problem. In baseball, there's one ball in play. So if the game is slow, you got nowhere else to turn. In golf, they can at least show a bunch of different shots and switch away from Patrick Cantlay and switch back and then switch away and switch back, and he probably still wouldn't have hit yet. He is very slow, but I don't think anything's going to change because the business is in a good spot and they don't want to piss off players. As far as a new caddy, guys, when they're struggling, often go for a new caddy because it's more just kind of a new voice. Think about if you had someone walking with you when you worked all week and your product was kind of shitty, your tweets weren't doing so hot, your videos weren't doing well, and you're like, you know what, it's not really personal, I just kind of want someone else by me because we're sucking right now. So it's Patrick Cantlay brought in Joe LaCava, who is not just caddy for Tiger Woods, he caddy for Dustin Johnson, he caddy for Fred Couples, he's been around. I think it's a sort of a reminder to himself that this guy who has been Tiger Woods' caddy believes in him. And I was talking to a few other guys who think it might be really good for Patrick because Joe LaCava is he's a bit of an alpha personality. And when Patrick's playing slow, I think there are some guys who are hoping that Joe's going to be like, hey, pick it up, kid. Like, pick it up. I'm Tiger's caddy. I'm not afraid to tell you this. Pick it up.
Yeah, what about players? You mentioned baseball. Why don't the players take matters into their own hands? Like the unwritten rules being violated. And if Cantlay's taking too long in the fairway, just hit some drives into him. Don't yell for.
Yeah. No, you do see guys, golf's version of that is kind of rolling your eyes. And you'll see a bunch of guys roll their eyes, which in golf is basically like, sending a dagger on someone's back. But guys are annoyed for sure, but playing slow is part of tournament golf. It's never really been fast out here. It's more just there are more cameras now and someone can get a video and put it on Twitter and everyone sees that he's taken a really long time. But slow play is nothing new. And as much as we complain about it, I just don't think anything's going to change given live and given that the business is in a pretty good spot.
It is the most passive-aggressive sport.
It is. It's crazy. Is there a penalty on the books? If Brooks at the Masters had been like, Jesus Christ, this guy's taking 6 minutes to hit a shot, bombed a drive, put it right in Cantley's ribs, and just brushed him back a little bit. Is there a penalty that can be enforced on Brooks?
I don't think there is a penalty for hitting into someone else. I
Drill
think
him.
it's definitely frowned upon. There's a penalty on the books for slow play. You're technically only supposed to get 45 seconds to hit your shot, but if you watch golf, that never happens. And the only slow play penalty that I can ever remember them handing out is, I don't know if you guys remember this, they handed it out to a 14-year-old guy in the Masters named Tin Lang Guan, and that was they chose to make an example out of the 14-year-old for slow play, and that's it. So yeah, they don't get penalized, and they just they're gonna. I don't blame the players. They're gonna do what they feel like makes them play better, and for them playing slow makes them play better. It's the tour's fault for not enforcing it.
You know what memes? We should get into the fake news business. Let's make a supercut of Patrick Cantlay and just stitch together every single second of him not hitting a shot and be like, look how long it took him to hit this one shot, and have it be 2.5 minutes.
No, yeah, we should do the there's that famous clip of Jose Altuve hitting a inside the park home run, and they were showing when pitch clock was coming along.
Yeah,
they were showing how many times he went around the bases between a pitch. We should do a Jose Altuve, how many home runs did he hit between Patrick Cantlay hitting a shot?
Yeah, but then have it be 2 minutes.
Yeah,
really select some good
15
video.
inside the park.
Maybe do
runs.
some in slow mo. Yeah.
There is some movement, because obviously baseball has instituted the shot clock or the pitch clock, and I think it's been a big success. There has been some murmurs, why don't we do that in golf, which I think would be objectively hilarious if at the end of the pitch clock it just went
yeah
if the guy's in the middle of his backswing, it's well, we gave you 45 seconds.
I do like the idea of drilling someone, but it also is fun that I never really thought about it. But golf,
Mm-hmm.
instead of brushing a guy back, it's just you have to sigh when you see him, and then they sigh back.
Or you point to your watch.
Yeah,
It's
right.
Sometimes if they'll look at the camera and point. I think Brooks did that a couple years ago, and that was big time in our sport.
That was thrown at someone's head.
Yes, I was throwing a 99 mile an hour fastball at someone's head. Was
Just
pointing at the watch,
looking at a watch. Okay, so John Rahm and Scotty Scheffler. John Rahm has been fantastic. Does it really feel like they are separated from everyone else by that big of a margin?
Yes, I would say yes. Rory was kind of the number 3 for a little while, but Rory missed the cut at the Masters. He missed the cut at the Players Championship. He seems, we just had his press conference an hour ago. He's done talking about LIV Golf. He was the guy who was at the podium answering all the questions, talking about how the PGA Tour is about legacy and about history, and how he was so proud to carry the tour into the future. And we just asked him, are you going to stop talking about it? He's like, yeah, I'm done talking about it, because I think it's worn on him a lot over the last year, trying to be one of the best players in the world, and also being in all the meetings and giving all these press conferences, and he reads everything. So seeing all the negativity on social media, Rory's kind of taking a step back. But yeah, I mean, Scotty's got 3 wins this year. Rahm's got 4, including the Masters. I think a win this week, John Rahm would have 5 wins already this year. He'd have won the first 2 majors. He'll be 3/4 of the way to the career Grand Slam. And I do think that those 2 have separated themselves, but I think Rahm is the clear number 1 right now. I think Rahm is clear number 1. Scotty is clear number 2, and then there's a big gap between everyone else.
Counterpoint, though, didn't Tony Finau just stare down John Rahm in Mexico?
Yeah, he did at the Mexico Open at Vidanta, which was like a resort course. Yes, he did. I don't think that's, it's basically a different sport from major championship golf. But yeah, Tony's turned into a winner after 7 years of why does this guy never win? I think he's won 5 in the last 20 months. So Finau's definitely playing at a top 5 level this year.
I also saw a quote that was going around regarding Rory McIlroy, that if you're not, you can't root for Tiger because he's not playing this weekend. However, Tiger saw Rory playing at Quail Hollow and called him and was like, hey, I see something in your swing. And then Rory spent last Friday at Tiger's house getting coached up to fix his swing. Is that true?
I believe that is true. That was reported by Eamon Lynch, who's Northern Irish. He's good pals with Rory. It's kind of a frowned upon thing, as you guys might know, in golf, to give unsolicited swing advice.
That's the only thing that ever happens on the internet, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. You post your swing and everyone's like, oh, this, that, and the other. Or you're playing golf and some guy comes up to you and goes, I really think you should slow it down, and you want to kill that guy. I think if Tiger Woods reaches out to you and says there's something that I'm seeing, maybe, just maybe, you'd violate that rule and actually listen to him.
No, that's a beta move.
It would ruin.
If Tiger wants to fix my swing, I decline.
It would ruin all of my private teaching that I've had.
No. I'll never let another man teach me.
Over there.
I'll never let
Brooks
another
would have
man
gone over.
teach me.
Yeah, I don't think Brooks would have gone over there. I think Brooks would have said, all right, thank you for your advice, but I'm not doing it. But Rory, these guys worship Tiger. He's the reason they're so rich. So anything Tiger says is like gospel.
Okay, so while we're talking about Tiger, we are the #1 Charlie Woods podcast. He's listening to this right now. No pressure. Is he going to be a pro?
I'll say yes. I think he will be a pro.
Correct.
You know, being a pro in golf is not that difficult. You guys could say that you're a pro tomorrow. There's no draft. Anyone can become a professional golfer. But the spirit of the question obviously being, will he? Yeah, I think he'll make a run. I mean, all signs point to him being definitely like a Division I level player, and he'll get a chance. He'll definitely get sponsored invites. That's for sure. You know, there will definitely be a tournament that says we're gonna have Charlie Woods playing it. So if he wants to, if he continues to want it, like he says he does. There was a video that dropped last week with Tiger was talking to Colin Morikawa about how Charlie's kind of starting to hit it past him now. I don't think he's beaten him yet over 18 holes, but he's getting there. He's still not 14 years old yet. So as long as he continues to have this golf bug, and as long as Tiger's out for a while and Charlie is kind of, it seems like he's almost living vicariously through Charlie, I do think Charlie Woods will be a pro.
The torch has been passed.
Believe it. I could not believe it when I saw that head cover. I texted the guy who was caddying from that week. I was like, oh, so is that? He's like, yeah, he's an enormous fan. He listens to every single episode.
Yeah, you broke that for us. We should say thank you. A belated thank you. You broke that story. We are the #1 Charlie Woods podcast.
It does sound like you're a tiny bit of a Charlie hater.
Yeah.
You said he could be a Division I golfer.
And he also said, like, oh, he'll get some sponsor exemptions and shit.
It sounds like you don't really believe in Charlie. I think that Charlie can go as high as he wants to.
You think Charlie will be #1 in the world?
I think minimum.
Yeah. Well, he's already #1 for us. Our
that'd
golf
be a failure.
rankings, Data Golf, PMT Golf, we have Charlie Woods #1, John Rahm 2.
#1 in the universe is more like it for Charlie. Forget the world.
I guess in my old job, I was kind of wary about not trying to put pressure on kids, but screw it, right? He's going to be #1 in the world.
No, we're not putting pressure on him because whatever he does, this is our promise to Charlie Woods, again, who's listening right now. We will spin zone it as a win. So even if he doesn't make it to the PGA Tour, we'll be like, yeah, he realized that it wasn't enough competition for him.
Yeah.
I think you guys need to show up to his first college event and just heckle all the other kids.
Yes.
Well, like you said, golf is easy, right? Anybody can go pro. Like if Charlie could go pro, and we're going to root for him, but if Charlie decides that he wants to do something else with his life, we're going to support him no matter what. We care about Charlie Woods the person.
Right.
In addition to Charlie Woods the golfer. Yeah.
Got it. So he'll be #1 in the world in whatever pursuit that he ends up wanting to fulfill.
He's a winner.
It's honestly weird, though, that you're putting all this pressure on Charlie to become a Division I golfer.
Right.
I think that Charlie's great no matter what he decides to do.
Okay. Yeah, he'll go pro in the game of life.
Yeah.
Correct. He'll work at Enterprise.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. #1 employer of D1 athletes.
Yes. Okay, we got to talk about our friend Max Homa. So, some people, not us, but some people are saying, when is Max going to make a run in a major? Again, not us. What would you say to those people?
Yeah, to those people, I would say you're asking a very fair question because, it's not just that he wins PGA Tour events, but he does it on hard golf courses. He's won at Riviera, which has hosted majors in the past and will probably host majors in the future. He's won at Quail Hollow, which hosts President's Cup and majors in the past. He's won at Torrey Pines, where Tiger won, and then he comes to the majors, and I think his best finish is a T14 last year. It doesn't really make sense. You would want to say that it's some sort of mental block, but Max is too smart and too good at the mental side of golf for it to be a thing. So it's going to happen one of these weeks. It's a small sample size. You only get 4 chances per year. Max sucked until like 3 years ago, so he's really only had 8 to 12 chances where he's playing like this. But if it continues after this year, I think we get to the point of like, do we need to do some sort of voodoo ritual to snap him out of this because he's too good of a player and his record is too good at hard golf courses to continue to be so barren at the majors.
So what's a success for him this weekend? Top 10?
Top 10. I mean, what is he, number 6 or 7 in the world? At a certain point, you got to perform where your ranking says you are. Making the cut is no longer a success for Max Homa in a major championship. He's just not that guy anymore. He's playing. I just saw him playing a practice round with Justin Thomas. Like he's A-list. He's an A-lister in golf right now. And if you're going to be a true A-lister, you have to deliver on the 4 weeks where guys like me are coming on podcasts like this and people actually care.
You said it yourself. Maybe Max is too smart. Maybe he, like his brain works at a level where he does start to second guess himself. Maybe he just needs to get dumber.
We got to concuss him.
Or he's got to smoke a lot of weed.
We got to concuss him and smoke some weed.
It's not a crazy thought. Like I've always thought that being really smart and cerebral in golf is not a benefit.
That's why
some of the best players in the world. Yeah, some of the best players in the world. I think there was a shameless plug for Full Swing, but there was a moment in Full Swing where Brooks Koepka was like, "All right, who's playing the best in the world right now?" Scotty Scheffler. I bet you Scotty Scheffler's not thinking about anything.
Yeah.
And then they pan to Scotty Scheffler and he's like, yeah, I'm just like out there playing golf. There's so many things that can go wrong in golf. There's so many factors to consider that if you're sitting there and you're thinking about this, that, and the other, it can be paralyzing. And you watch guys like Bubba Watson or Dustin Johnson, they're like, I'm just going to go up there and hit my fucking cut and hope it goes in the fairway. That's a great attitude to have.
Yeah, I would agree. I would say that golfers and like kickers in football, you want
Yeah.
your kicker to be dumb as shit so that they
Correct.
don't overthink anything. Now, it's interesting because you were saying that Max sucked until 3 years ago. I wouldn't use that word, but in golf journalism,
I would.
I feel like every golf writer or anybody that covers the sport is also a golfer themselves. It's a little
Yeah.
bit different from other sports. So is it harder for you to criticize players because you play the sport and you realize how much better than you they are at the sport that you love to play?
Sort of. I'm a decent player, which I think helps. And I think having played on camera, these guys know that I'm a decent player. I definitely think that there are some people in this room, I won't name names, I'm looking right at them, but I won't name names, who don't play golf at all, can't break 100, and then they get up there and they talk about, what a guy needs to do to win a major, which I think is, it's sort of laughable. But yeah, it is definitely a different aspect, and I think it's one of the reasons why so many of the announcers, the guys like Smiley Kaufman, guys like Colt Knost, are former players, because definitely professional golfers respect guys who can actually, break 100. I think that's kind of a prerequisite.
Was it Brandley Chambliss?
Was it Frank the Tank?
No, I love Frank the Tank. I'm obsessed with Frank the Tank.
He's allowed to criticize any athlete.
Yes. He was calling, who's he calling Vogel back? He was like, a fat fuck. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to say who I'm staring at. Brandon Chambly won a PGA Tour event. People forget that.
I certainly did, and I will remain forgetting that.
Yes, he
I
did
will
win a
memory
PGA
hold
Tour
that
event.
forever.
It wasn't
Mouse
a big
era.
one.
Yeah.
It wasn't a big one. It was pre-Live era, but it was he won a PGA Tour event.
So asterisks,
Yeah. Okay, so give us a long shot. Give us a couple long shots.
Yeah. Ricky Fowler is back in the mix. Ricky's back in the top 50. I think he's been in top 20. I believe it's like 9 of his last 10 starts. So he's quietly working his way back there. I really like the way he's playing. I really like the way he's putting. He went back to his old swing coach, Butch Harmon, who's a very famous swing coach, worked with Tiger Woods and Phil Mickelson in their heydays. So I like him a lot. And then this is, not, I wouldn't say necessarily a long shot, but Jason Day, who won last week. These are some names that probably bring you guys back to like 2015, 2016. But he's having a resurgence as well. He won last week. He's putting the ball unbelievably well. And he's finally got his vertigo under control. His back's not hurting him. And, people forget, but in 2016, Jason Day had a historically great year. His ceiling is very high. So 2 guys that are sort of outside the top 5 favorites, I would say Ricky Fowler and Jason Day.
Interesting. Okay, what happened with Ricky? What if you were to put a label on why Ricky's game broke down? Because he was, Ryder Cup. He was in that group of the next guys to kind of take golf into the next generation, and then he kind of fell off for a few years. What's been the problem with him, and do you think he's fixed it?
Yeah, his putting used to be his strength. He worked so much on his swing changes throughout the years, we don't want to get too super technical. He was trying to get the club a lot more up and like kind of a less behind him. And he was working so much on that his putting went really poorly. And then, with Ricky, it's hard not to address the fact that he does about 30 sponsor days a year, where he's filming commercials and he's out there with people. I don't know that caused his downfall, but he's always been a guy who's had a lot of interests outside of golf and has done a lot of commercials and a lot of other things. And maybe when you're struggling, it's harder when you're a tenth of the year you're out there.
Yeah, like Baker Mayfield,
rubbing shoulders. Yeah, with like Mercedes Benz, but he's back now. I think he realizes that those deals are going to dry up unless he continues to play good golf. So golf seems to be the focus again, and he's playing really nicely.
Okay, this has been great, Dan. I got one last question. It's a Rhoback question, rhoback.com. Use code TAKE for 20% off your first purchase. Q-Zips, polos, hoodies, joggers, and shorts for the summer. So go to rhoback.com. Use code TAKE for 20% off your first purchase, especially for all you golf fans out there. Great, great polos for the golf course. Okay, Rhoback question. Sunday night, PGA Championship is finished. What is the story that would shock you the most coming out of Sunday night? Give us a headline.
Live golfers dance on 18th green with Greg Norman in triumph.
Okay.
shirtless.
Brooks Koepka.
Shirtless
Yeah.
Greg Norman.
Okay.
Yeah, there was some talk that they were all going to party on the 18th green if one of them won the Masters, which would have been really funny watching them try to navigate through an army of green jackets who would have formed a physical barrier because they were not about to let that moment be taken from them. But the PGA Championship's a little loosey-goosey. I wonder if Phil's not making a run if Greg's not up there, shirtless, hooting and hollering on the 18th green.
I would love that. Golf needs something like that. A rivalry is good. Like if you look back at the wrestling, the Monday Night Wars of the late 90s, having a rival league that it's going to be both. It's going to be good for both the PGA and for the Live Tour.
The ratings are up on the PGA Tour. Golf's never been hotter. The players always ask us, why do we talk about Live so much? It's like, well, because it's great for business. It's been amazing for us. It's boring to talk about birdies and bogeys, but you get to talk about Saudis and loyalty and betrayal and bribery. And it's just a completely different thing that's been a wild ride for 2 years.
Yeah. My last question: Are you a dimplehead like us? Do you wake up early in the morning and you see where the pin placement's going to be? Are they going to put that graphic out for us? And if they do, what's the one pin placement that you've got your eye on a particular hole? Like on Sunday, if the pin's here, you better look out.
Yeah, back left pin on the par 3. I believe it's 15. If it gets firm and baked out, it's going to be a disaster. Not a disaster, but there'll be some drama on that hole on Sunday.
I forgot to ask, what's the hardest hole on the course?
I would say probably 18.
Okay.
18 is a bear up the hill. Kind of similar. It honestly reminds me a little bit of the 18th hole last year at Southern Hills. If you remember, Mito Pereira had a lot of trouble with that hole. So yeah, you're going to have to make a really good four at the last probably to win the tournament. So 18, I would say, is the toughest.
Okay, I like that. I love whenever like it gets a little bit tougher, so then you can have guys maybe hang around a little bit more who are in the clubhouse with a score and be like, well, they got to get through this. That makes for great theater on Sundays.
When they have to watch the tiny TV, like the R. Kelly size TV.
But it's not like, because some courses, it gets easier. And it's like, well, they'll just pick up a few, strokes right here. But if it's a gauntlet down the stretch, that always makes it fun on Sunday.
I think it's fun when birdies matter. I mean, JT was 7 back last year and came back to win. That doesn't, like you said, that doesn't happen on a pillow soft golf course where everyone's shooting 6 under. So I like a little bit of variance as well.
Birdies matter this year.
Matter.
I like it. That's a good
Birdies
slogan.
matter.
All right. Well, Dan, thank you so much. Also, congratulations on finally saying hi to me when you saw me in the neighborhood.
I didn't say congratulations on your newborn, though. I just said hello.
Yeah, you just said hello. Well, I think it might have been before, but yeah, Dan lives like a block away from me, and there's been a couple times where I've seen him and he just keeps walking because he's like, I don't want to bother him. It's like, dude, we work together. So he finally mustered up the courage to be like, hey, what's up? And I was like, hey, what's up?
And I said it, I was like, I made a point. I was like, hey, like I was saying hello.
Yeah.
So it was nice.
So it's good.
We're boys
So
now.
we've taken our relationship to the next level where we can actually say hello to each other on the street. It's nice.
It's a big step.
Yeah. All right, man. Thanks so much. Everyone follow him all weekend. He'll be at the course, and appreciate you coming on.
Thanks, guys.
Dan Rappaport was brought to you by our friends at Farmer's Dog. Farmer's Dog, whether you have a few weeks old puppy or a senior who's seen multiple decades, any dog person like me knows the most valuable thing in the world is spending time with your pet. The Farmer's Dog can help to keep them healthy, which can give you more quality years with them. The Farmer's Dog makes and delivers fresh, healthy dog food. It's recommended by vets, nutritionally balanced, and made from human-grade ingredients in safe, clean kitchens. I'm going off script. I've been doing the Farmer's Dog with Stella for probably 4 or 5 years. She absolutely loves it. It's super easy to do. You sign up. You can tailor make your dog's meal however you want. They send you a package with dry ice and the sleeves of the food. You put them in the freezer, then you take them out one by one as your dog needs to eat. Your dog will be happier, healthier, better coat, softer, all those things, because the Farmer's Dog has the best ingredients ever, and it helps your dog live a healthier life. A fresh diet has been found to have all sorts of benefits, from healthier coat and skin to better breath, even easier digestion and smaller, better poops. A healthy diet isn't just important for humans. It's important for our dogs too. It doesn't matter if your dog is young or old. It's always the right time to begin investing in their helping you live more healthy, happy, and full years together. Don't get the little pellets or the canned food. Your dog doesn't like it. Your dog eats it because it just doesn't know better. As soon as you get the Farmer's Dog, your dog will love it, eat it up, be healthy, happier, more energy, all those good things. I can tell you, I've seen it in Stella. It's a guarantee. Have our dogs live as long as possible with the Farmer's Dog. Get 50% off your first box at thefarmersdog.com/PMT. 50% off your first box at thefarmersdog.com/PMT. Thefarmersdog.com/PMT. It comes Big Cat and Stella approved. We love the Farmer's Dog. Seriously, they're making great food for dogs. They're doing it for your dog. So get it right now, thefarmersdog.com/PMT. Okay. We have guys on chicks. Before we do that, we watched Big George Foreman, the movie that we had a sponsorship with a couple weeks ago. I said, I have to see that movie. I saw it as a preview when I saw Air a couple months ago, or a month ago. And I was like, I have to see this. I love boxing. I love boxing movies. We watched it. It did not disappoint. The Big George Foreman. I mean, it seriously is one of the craziest stories that I don't think gets talked about enough, that George Foreman had a legendary championship career, then retired, then came back, and in like his mid 40s got back to the top. It's crazy. The whole thing's nuts.
He was 45. He was 45 years old and won the heavyweight champion of the world. Pretty crazy stuff. Also, all-time grill salesman guy.
Oh.
I love the George Foreman grill.
Dude.
George Foreman, he sold so many grills. I bet you he sold billions of dollars worth of grills.
So I saw, shout out Trung T Fan, who does great Twitter threads all the time about business and everything. So they launched it in 1994, the George Foreman Grill, and it was doing $200 million a year by 1998. George Foreman was getting paid so much. He said he was getting paid upwards of $8 million a month for royalty fees.
Mm-hmm.
His royalty fees were so crazy that George Foreman, the grill makers, had to buy him out for a lump sum for $138 million
Good for
in
him.
1999. There's a lot of money.
I love that. My favorite part of going to college was getting a George Foreman grill in my dorm. If you had one of those in your dorm room, you were a king. You could grill out in your room. George was a legend.
Also,
still is a legend.
Also, one of the best parts about the George Foreman grill, they actually offered it to Hulk Hogan, and he decided to do a meatball maker instead.
Oh, yikes.
So talk about sliding doors. But back to this movie. Awesome movie. Boxing movies are the best. The Ali scenes were incredible. Rumble in the Jungle. I'm like iconic stuff.
My biggest takeaway was like he's basically the Forrest Gump of boxing.
Yeah.
Whereas like the beginning of his career was Ali and Joe Frazier, and then the end of his career was Holyfield, and he thought at one point that he was going to be fighting Mike Tyson, which is just an insane lapse of time. That is such a big time period. The fact that he was primetime winning championships against Joe Frazier, and then was, fighting Evander Holyfield, almost beat him, and then was, talking about just the fact that he was even talking about potentially fighting Mike Tyson. That seems like 100 years difference.
And don't forget the 1968 Olympics and winning the Olympic gold. And they showed it in the movie holding up the American flag because there was protests in that Olympics. But yeah, you're right. That's a perfect way to put it. He was the Forrest Gump of boxing, just spanning decades and being fantastic. And the way he boxed, the fact that he had that punch, I was actually thinking about it because oftentimes when I think about like historical sporting events, I'm like, who would I have bet on? Because I think Ali was like a 3 or 4 to 1 underdog in the Rumble in the Jungle. I definitely would have been on George Foreman because I've been like, how could his punches are so strong.
He's so much bigger.
He's so much bigger. I would have been like, we're winning this fight as Ali's doing rope-a-dope.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'd have been like, this is
You would
easy.
have considered that to be like a bad beat, even
Yeah.
though in retrospect it was just a strategy that paid off big time. For
I would have
Ali.
been live lining it.
Yeah.
George Foreman minus 1,000.
Easy.
He's
double
killing
down.
him.
Double down.
Ali
triple
can't
down.
get off the ropes.
He was 76-5 in his career record.
That's crazy.
It's insane that he had 81 career fights in a boxing ring.
Also classic. That was in the movie when they were talking to the guy that he trusted to do his investments. He was like, "How are the investments going?" And the guy was like, "Oh, they're in super safe stocks." That you knew was going to be wrong. And then later in the movie, it's like, can I get the money? They're like, the money's all gone. They were all high risk gambles, and it's all gone.
He's 74 right now. He could still kick my ass for sure.
Oh, dude, that
Easily.
punch, the power in his punch is fucking insane. But yeah, this movie was awesome. Any sports movie, boxing movie, the best, recreating like legendary fights. So check it out, Big George Foreman. It's in. You can rent it or buy it, and it's also in theaters.
Big George Foreman.
Yeah.
What's
Big
he done?
George Foreman. Nah.
Nope.
No. By the way, before we do Guys on Chicks, Max had a hell of a day yesterday. People were coming at him online. People were making a lot of comments. He looks like this guy. He looks like that guy. I did screenshot one comment that I wanted to share because it was very
I got
funny.
one too. I got a great
Okay.
one from the Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, it
let's
might be the
just-
same one.
Let's bring them all out.
So this person said, shout out Brett Hennig. He said, Max looks like an insanely passionate American sushi chef who left his family to be in Tokyo, failed, and came back with nothing.
That was
Oh, so good. Just nailed it.
I gotta say, Max, it's grown on me a little bit.
Yeah.
It's not as
I
bad
like
as
the
it
people
was
that said
yesterday.
Max. I think it was like a YouTube comment was like Max looks both terrifying and but pulls it off at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of looks natural on you.
And when you put your hair down, you kind of look like a troll doll. Remember those troll dolls?
That looks nice.
Yeah.
That sounds nice.
Yeah.
We have Max's pawn shop merch available now. I don't know if you guys saw those shirts.
Yo,
They're probably sold out by
Max
now.
was like, we're not
Yeah.
going to sell any of them. I was like, not with that attitude.
You
bro.
look like Jay and Silent Bob at the same time.
It's great. It's great. It was, listen,
Do you want to talk about the setup?
sadness sells. What?
What you did to him?
Oh, tune into PMTV. So people saw the photo shoot pictures. Tune into PMTV.
So
You
messed
heard
up.
you heard
So
Max
messed up.
bitching about the photo shoot on Sunday night, bad mouthing our merch team. I defended them because maybe I knew a little more than he knew at that moment. But yeah, PMTV has the photo shoot. Thank God we did the photo shoot. Those pictures were incredible.
Thank God. I was actually thinking the same
Thank
thing.
God.
Imagine if those pictures didn't exist.
Oh,
yeah,
It actually was a productive photo shoot.
Oh,
The Father's Day merch coming on sale soon. Thursday, 10 a.m. I believe. StoreUpBarstoolSports.com.
There you go, Jake.
Sure, Jake.
Yeah, that's why we did it.
Yeah, okay.
That's exactly why it happened.
That was why it was productive.
I saw one Photoshop that I didn't care for particularly, and that's just somebody took the soul patch on the bottom lip and they just moved it to the top lip, and it is a wide soul patch, and it looks like the H-man. You got an upside down H-man on your face.
So do you.
That's true.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah, so do you.
what's more concerning is just people that I've had a couple of people that don't even realize that I have a soul patch until after they talk to
Well,
me
you got
for
the
like
chin
15
going
seconds.
now, too.
No, I shaved.
We told you that was going to happen.
Yeah, so I was talking to KB outside. I talked to him for like 4 minutes, and he's like, "Oh yeah, you got the soul patch. It just looks so natural on you that I didn't even think," and that's concerning to me.
Yeah.
I want to say I would have been as good of a sport, but I wouldn't have been.
No,
So,
Max has been a
shout out
great
to Max.
sport. He has. I love him. And
We're soul brothers, man.
yeah, he's just had a really bad stretch of sports sadness that we've been able to monetize greatly. I also think the soul patch bet is going to stick. Like, we'll have to do another one.
Yeah.
At some point.
Who do you guys have on your Mount Rushmore of soul patch havers? Max has got to be on there right now. I would say
Howie Mandel.
Howie Mandel.
Deal or no deal. Yep.
Mark McGrath from Sugar Ray.
Scott Stapp.
Yeah, Scott Stapp from Creed. Now, Guy Fieri has the bleach soul patch.
Yeah.
But he's also got the goatee that goes along with it.
Yeah.
Just one of those days.
Oh, Fred Durst.
Fred Durst.
Yeah.
Durst, yeah.
Yeah, Fred Durst is up there.
Yeah. It's been great. It's been great. And Max went to the gym, so he's looking better.
Yeah, you look great, Max.
He's shaking his head. He's
What'd the
are you- are you
roommate?
doing
What'd your girlfriend's roommate think?
I hate everybody. I hate everyone in this room.
People liked the episode, Max. The numbers were crazy.
Yep. You're Numbies guy.
You're a numbers guy.
Numbies.
Yeah. One thing about Max.
Almost got to 10K on Instagram.
Let's go.
Ooh,
Okay.
There we go.
Yeah.
Everyone follow him. What's your Instagram handle?
CM Delente. This
What's
could
the
put me.
C
That's my first name.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, I know.
It's like Punk except Delente.
Yeah. Yeah. See,
Yeah, that's what I was going for.
Yeah.
I would
Give
have
Max
to
a pity
think
follow.
probably the two biggest episodes we've done in the past 6 months are post Super Bowl.
Yeah. His sadness, we basically are using it as a renewable energy source. Max's sadness. We found a way.
We've channeled Philly's losses.
We're Bitcoin mining with Max's losses. All right. Guys on Chicks.
Hey boys, my husband doesn't put on deodorant before working out. For context, he works out alone at home in the morning and then just showers right after. Okay.
Yeah.
I find it weird that he doesn't put on any deodorant beforehand, but he explains that he's still going to sweat and just shower right after, so it's a waste of deodorant. Facts.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Facts.
I find this weird, again, since I put on deodorant no matter when or where I'm working out. Is it just a normal guy thing, or am I in the right? Also, congrats to Hank on the lottery ball. Some people graduate college in the amount of time it took him to correctly pick one number, but congrats still.
That's true.
Not Stenson Bennett. Also, like, this girl is a helicopter girlfriend.
Yeah.
Who cares when your boyfriend puts on deodorant?
Yeah.
As long as he doesn't smell bad.
Yeah, and we won't get into the conversation about how soap doesn't work on
Yeah.
armpits. And how
Also, deodorant's trying to poison us, right?
Fresh sweat cleans it out.
Well, soap doesn't work on armpits, but as long as you put on deodorant after you shower,
Yeah.
Right.
who cares?
I said we're not going to get into that, but
Yeah.
yeah, I agree.
Because if we did, we'd just...
We'd go around in circles again. I think
Why doesn't anyone dunk from the free throw line?
this guy is an idiot, or this girl is an idiot, because nobody puts on deodorant just to work out by themselves. If you're going to the gym, I could see maybe being a good gym citizen. You might not want to stink it up in front, maybe, but I would also understand not putting on. It's like you don't brush your teeth before you drink orange juice, right?
Right.
That's like putting on deodorant before you work out.
It's actually, if he were to put on deodorant before going to a gym, I know you said home gym, but say he was going to a gym, that would be a sign he's cheating on you.
Yeah.
Be like,
Yeah,
oh,
red
why
flag.
are you putting on deodorant before you're going to get sweaty?
Yep.
I also just think that level of monitoring on
Too
his
much.
deodorant is just too much.
Yeah.
Let the guy live.
Too much.
Agreed.
You're a buzzkill.
My fiance never wants to pee with the bathroom door open. He thinks that's a sacred time only for him. However, he feels completely comfortable taking a dump with the door open for me to see. He even does it when his guy friends are over and even when my best friend is over. I feel like that's really weird.
That is.
Thoughts, PMT crew?
He pees with his he pulls down his pants all the
All
way
the
when
way?
he pees. He's one of those guys.
That is weird to do one or the other.
Shout out to Playboy Marty after he did that in the bathroom here the other day. It was wild to walk into.
He like
Just
not
ass
even
out.
joking?
Just ass was out. It was like after one of the streams, so it was late night, and I'm blowing up his spot. But it was, I got a chuckle out of it.
Yeah.
Didn't say anything to him after. I'm just saying it now.
It always
publicly
plays.
on the podcast.
It's always a laugh
It
out
was-
loud thing when you see a grown
It's
man.
incredible.
Wait, did he
ass
do it
out
as a
pissing.
joke?
No, it was late. It was like midnight. I don't think it was probably 5 people here total. And I just walked in the bathroom and just
Had
cheeks
his
out.
ass out?
Just cheeks
Oh
out.
my god.
Pants on the floor or
he's
pants
peeing like
on
a
the leg?
4-year-old.
No, pants like kind of pushing the booty up, like just as right below the ass.
It would have
What
been
a
funny if he had like pants on the floor and then he was doing the thing where he's like also holding his shirt up.
Yeah,
in the front.
that's how my son
like a
pisses.
little
Yeah.
kid. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that
I'm
is
gonna start
weird.
doing that.
That's weird to do the close the door for the pee and not for the shit. One nice thing about having kids is I don't think I've taken a shit in my house without at least one of my kids trying to have a full conversation 6 inches from my face.
Yeah.
That's fun.
There's something
That's really fun.
there's something wrong with this guy, I think.
Yeah.
This is strange behavior.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's doing something weird. What if he thought he could only pee if he jerked off? He had to get hard to pee? Maybe that's it.
Or maybe he's probably doing something in the bathroom that he shouldn't be doing when he allegedly pees.
He's putting his finger up his butt?
Maybe put
to
his
let the
finger up
pee
his
come
butt.
out?
Maybe using maybe he's using heroin when he says that he's peeing.
Mm-hmm.
You
Interesting.
should ask him that.
Yeah.
Check his arms.
This is a good one. Sup lottery ball winners minus memes. Ooh, damn.
Tough.
That hurts. My boyfriend
Wait,
and
has
I.
Memes not got it?
Memes
No.
never got it.
Ever?
He tried to say he got it before. And
he hasn't.
anyone that says that, none of them counts.
No.
Yeah.
Well, they did.
Yeah, okay.
They did count.
My boyfriend and I have 1 year, both have weddings we are invited to on the same day. My boyfriend's is his old roommate / former boss, and mine is a childhood friend.
Yeah.
How do we handle the situation?
This is the easiest question ever. You both go to your weddings and have the best time ever without your girlfriend or boyfriend.
Yeah.
That, like, if you're in a relationship and then you start going to a bunch of weddings, there's definitely a point where you're like, oh, it'd be nice if like I just get fucked up without anyone being like, hey, why are you all fucked up? Like, go have fun at this wedding. It's perfect.
It's also weird that his former roommate was also his boss.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a
That
that's
sounds
a
like a
strange
startup
dynamic.
situation.
That's like if Billy lived with Jake.
Mm-hmm.
Be tough.
That's like when I co-signed Hank's lease. He was my boss.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was awkward, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was really awkward to have an employee.
I think going to separate weddings is kind of the dream.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
You go to a lot. You guys should actually get 2 dates.
Ooh,
and just take a night off.
But no, seriously, you're gonna end up going to a million weddings. They all are the exact same. That's the thing with weddings. Once you start going to them and you get in your wedding like late 20s, early 30s, and you start going to all these weddings and they all just blend together, this one will stick out.
Yeah. Really, from the time you're 25 until 35, all of your discretionary income is spent going to weddings.
Yes.
Might as well have some fun.
Just summers, weddings. Is that it?
That's it.
Okay. Lottery ball? So we got some updates, right, Jake? We got to go.
Yeah, I have to file through, but we had a lot of AWLs. Thanks for reaching out.
And let's get it sponsored, Hank.
We'll organize it. I'll
Chili's.
send some screenshots to you guys on
and we'll figure
good
out
ones,
how to
and
build one.
Memes, have you ever gotten this?
Options.
Memes, yeah, get memes. Go grab memes.
I don't know if he's got it.
Memes never got it. Go grab them.
Unless he has, and I'm just forgetting.
No, he has not.
Are you sure?
No, he has not. And he's already said he's gotten a lot of tweets about it.
I don't know.
Which is great.
I want to double check with him.
Yeah.
Hey, Memes.
Hey, Memes. We're about to do the lottery ball. Just wondering if you ever gotten it.
I haven't.
Oh, really?
Oh, no. Really?
Yeah, afraid not.
How long have you worked on Part of My Take?
This is about to be 2 years coming up.
Oh.
But we've been doing this that whole time.
Yeah, haven't been in the room.
Yeah, but you've never even gotten it, the number that you wanted to pick. Like you said for a while, you were going to be number 3, and we never got that.
Yeah, and 3 wasn't even in the machine.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
a little asterisk.
What is that? That's not an asterisk.
No, yeah, that's on me.
Yeah.
Picking balls that aren't in the machine.
All right, well, numbers.
16.
17.
1.
18.
26.
8.
6.
If Hank gets 26, that'd be sick.
What was
Then
your number?
Every number would be picked.
Memes?
1.
That would not be sick, Jake.
Five.
So close.
I feel like we haven't seen
Third
five
time.
in a
Third
long
time.
5.
You're never going to get this, Memes.
It's fucked up.
No, you're never going to get it. Everyone, just shout out your socials real quick.
At Pardon My Meme on Twitter. I believe it's... Here, let me find it on
That was going to be...
Instagram.
I thought you were going to say like 235.
Yeah, I thought you were
65.
That's what I thought you were saying first.
_ Pardon My Meme on Instagram if you want to chirp me there.
All right.
Okay.
Shout
so-
out your socials
yeah,
and your
Pardon
mother's
My Meme.
maiden name.
Yeah. At Pardon My Meme.
Yeah,
Never
let her
gotten it. He's literally never
May
gotten it.
Never gotten
27th, 2021.
Wow.
First number 5.
He's never gotten it.
That's
okay.
crazy.
See everyone on Friday.
Love you guys.
Dogs have 3 eyelids.
What?
There's 3 of them.
On each eyeball? Whoa.